Welcome to the Ice-Free BJJ podcast. This is our very first podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to, but not exclusively dedicated to, people that are training martial arts with a vision impairment. You're here with myself, Andre, we have Michelle, and we have Beck. And we all have the same thing in common. We're all visually impaired, legally blind, and we all do jiu-jitsu. Trigger warning, disclaimer, there may be incidents or anything said in this podcast. If it does offend anyone, we do apologize. Not our intent, but warning, offensive language, topics, and etc. And here we are, guys. We made it. We did it.
Yay!
Yes!
I think the fact that my name is attached to this just tells the world that there's going to be offensive stuff in here. Like, that is the automatic. Oh, Michelle's on it. Oh, God. Sorry.
Okay. So, we should do an introduction. So let's start with let's start with the baby. Let's start with the white belt. Beck, do you want to? Okay, tell us who you are, where you are,
Okay.
what belt you are, and how you found jiu-jitsu.
Well, you just wrecked it for him. You told him I'm a white belt.
Tell us all your belts. Tell us all your belts.
Yeah, but say it anyway.
Could have been a purple belt. How do you know we're not both black belts?
Well, I don't know that I'm. Yeah, no, I'm not either. Okay, yeah. So I'm Beck. I'm in Australia, and yeah, I'm a BJJ
Where in
white
Australia?
belt. Queensland. I'm in Queensland, and yeah, I'm a BJJ white belt and judo orange belt. And prior to that, when I had more vision, I was a karate black belt. But I don't talk about that anymore because grappling's better.
Shots fired. I wasn't the first one to offend. What?
You were. It didn't take us very long. I'm quite surprised about that.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Hey, I'll be the most defensive probably. But
I'm the editor, so I win.
You don't get to edit that out. No. I will tag you in Facebook, and I'll be like, "Hey, remember when you fired shots at karate?"
Yeah, if I rock up on Friday and my karate people will come after me, I know.
I'm literally never, ever going to forget that. Like, it'll be during the Tokyo Olympics karate. I'm like, yeah, but remember Beck says it sucks, so we shouldn't watch it.
We'll be like on episode 100, and I'll be like, remember how much karate sucks, Beck?
Okay, so Beck, tell us, how many stripes you got, if any?
Last I checked, I was 2 stripes, so that's cool.
2?
Yeah.
Have any fallen off? No, it happens.
No, not yet. I don't think so.
Really?
Okay.
Damn.
Someone's not rolling.
She's not watching her belt.
And how did you get into jiu-jitsu? Because we know you've got the judo background and that other thing, the dancing one.
The not grappling one?
Yeah, the not grappling one.
What was the question?
How did you get into jiu-jitsu?
Okay.
No, you ain't.
That's fine. No editing.
We're not editing this.
And how did you get into jiu-jitsu?
Okay, I got into jiu-jitsu because I think, like everyone, during COVID lockdowns, you go a little bit insane. And I actually think it was part of your posts I saw on Facebook, Andre. We were both in the same blind vision impaired group, and you were looking for blind and vision impaired people to join a jiu-jitsu in Brisbane. And I saw this post and nobody was commenting on it. I'm like, dudes, this sounds awesome. If I lived closer, I would do this. And I was trying to get some people into it. And I mentioned that I'd done a bit of judo when it was, you guys should go for it. You blind and vision impaired people, go for it. And I think you came back to me going, oh, well, why don't you do it? And I'm like, yeah, I would, but, and that sort of led to that. So
that was Matt Cooper's post that you found. Matt Cooper from Stack Deck Jiu-Jitsu up in up in Brisbane. Shout out. He was having me for a seminar. That was that post you're talking about, is where you initially found.
I think it was. Yeah.
Found me.
Yeah, it's a fan of you. Yeah.
Not Michelle. Me.
Yeah.
What?
It's okay. This is about me now.
Everything's about you, you little yappy little chihuahua.
And Beck, where do you train? Tell us where you train at the moment.
I'm training in a place in Forest Glen. It's called Forge. Yay! Shout out Forge Martial Arts.
Brilliant. Yeah, they seem like amazing guys.
Yeah,
Michelle.
You helped me find them, so thanks for that.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. All right, Michelle. It's on to you. Tell us.
Me.
She got serious. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what's your belt, what's your martial arts background, and where do you train?
I'm Michelle. I am from Kelowna, British Columbia in Canada. Not like these two over here. I'm on the other side of the damn world. And surprisingly, it's hotter here right now. Andre, it's warm. My air conditioning's on.
I'm jealous.
I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I am also a blue belt in judo. I've been threatening Andre for how many months now that I'm going to throw you?
A long time.
Probably going to end badly for when it hits the ground. Yeah, it's been a long time. There's been a lot of trash talk. It's going to end very badly for me when it hits the ground. But I'm really hoping that I can propel you across the room and then just run away. Because you won't be able to see where I'm going. So I'm just, it's going to literally be a hit and run. Like, I'm just going to launch and run away.
Are you saying you're going to introduce me? Ooh,
huh?
Nice. Are you saying you're going to introduce me to the upside down from Stranger Things?
No, I'm going to introduce you to the wall, actually. That's my goal, is to just make you hit the wall, and then I'm going to introduce myself to the door and try to hide. Pretty much how that's going to go. Yeah, but I've been training jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai for a little over 4 years, judo just under 3 years. I train at the Kelowna Judo Club and at Toshido MMA. So I'm primarily no-gi jiu-jitsu at the moment. I do gi jiu-jitsu as well, but it's just kind of dependent on class schedule, and with COVID and everything, like, we're just starting to reopen. So yeah, that's pretty much my background and my training. There was something else in there. I don't remember what it was. I'm going to say it's because I've been punched in the head too much in Muay Thai. You're welcome.
Nice. And do you have any stripes on your, actually, do you have any stripes on your blue belt? We don't know that.
You know what? Okay, yeah. So, I'm on the national judo team for para-judo for Canada. So, what up? I do have
right.
one stripe on my blue belt, but so yeah, because what happened is I was training at a recreational club when I started in 2017, and then I got my blue belt in 2018. After like a year and a half of training. They did give me a stripe when I was there. And then, yeah, like, I got over to Toshido. It's been almost 2 years that I've been at Toshido now. And about a year and a half of that has been friggin' COVID. So, I don't pay too much attention to stripes. Like, pretty much, like, I'm a boob. Everyone knows, no offense, Beck. But when you're a white belt, it's like, I'm a 1-stripe white belt, I'm a 3-stripe white belt, I'm a 4-stripe white belt. And then everything after that, you're like, yeah, I'm a blue belt. I'm a purple belt. I don't really care. The stripes are going to fall off anyway. I'm done. I'm not counting them. I think when I was a white belt, I think I had about 16 stripes because they kept falling off. So I was just progressively like, yeah, I'm just actually getting more and more. I'm actually like a 16-stripe white belt, I think, is where I finished off. So, yeah.
Nah, that's awesome.
And it's either really good or really bad. I don't know.
And you just got back from England not that long ago, doing the Paralympic qualifiers for your judo.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
So
I came in 5th.
Michelle's.
So I'm currently ranked 9th in the world in my division, but it was like my little blue belt ass that, keep in mind, 1 year of training once a week, and then like 6 months of training, and then COVID, and then like 2 months of training, and then this qualifier. So coming in 5th, you know what? I held my ground against the black belts. I'm not ashamed of that, and I'm coming back hard in 2022 when I might not have won, but I made an impression. So
Nice.
we'll see. We'll see in the next round.
But it wasn't a skill issue.
Mostly
The
'cause I'm
reason
an
you didn't
asshole.
win, it was a wasn't it a you just didn't know the rules issue, because you took it,
It
to
was-
that poor lady.
It's not I'm an asshole. I definitely did, and she actually like shook my hand and gave me a hug afterwards. It was just like, good job, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I gotta take that, because yeah, like when a blue belt does that to you as a black belt, like she did win in the end because she knew the rules and I didn't. And she did throw me. She did get a good throw. I'm not taking that away at all. But like she knew the rules and I didn't. So she was just like, boom, and planted me, and I was like, shit. But yeah, I'd been all over her before that. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, like if a white belt came and took it to me like that, I'd be like, okay, good job. I'm gonna go home and cry.
And
How
Becky's
I'm gonna
competed
feel
in
when I
judo.
go.
Yeah, I will. My breakballs are suck at the moment. And Beck, you've competed in judo as well, haven't you? And
Yeah,
karate.
a long time ago.
Better practice, because I'm gonna get Beck to throw you too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't. It's been a
There's
while
some-
since I competed, but yeah, I want to get back into it.
And you're thinking Jits comp as well, right?
I got drunk one night, and I was thinking that it might be a
Do
good
it.
idea, but maybe not. Maybe not when I'm
It is.
sober. Not that I'm gonna do a Jits comp drunk,
No,
but I might just sign up for one when I'm drunk.
Do it.
That's a great idea. Don't worry, we'll bully her into it.
Do it.
It'll
Yeah,
be easier.
I blame
on
you
the-
the-
guys already.
It'll be easier on.
No, so here's what you do is you sign up drunk, right? And then while you're drunk, you go and talk mad shit on the boards and like tell them all, look, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna armbar you, I'm gonna choke you, I'm gonna Kimura your coach, and then when you show up there, then you better fight hard to back that up.
I
Definitely fight
don't.
sober, but like,
Thanks for the advice, but I
not
don't think
drunk
I'll be
is
taking
okay.
that one.
no, that wasn't advice. Don't mistake that for advice. That wasn't
I like
advice.
having my arms and legs
Don't do
and
that.
neck where they're supposed to be. Thank you.
Actually, a jiu-jitsu competition is going to
Just
be
for my
easier on your body and everything than a judo one,
How?
because you're not going to get thrown. You can pull guard if you need to. It is an option.
Oh, they're gonna pull guard on you anyway. Every competition I did as a white belt, friggin' everyone pulled guard, and that's the whole reason I started judo, because I was getting pissed off. They were all pulling guard, and I was like, well, there's got to be an easier way around their legs. I'm like, hey, judo, because I'm smart that way, and you know,
Throw 'em good, you don't have to pass the
let's
guard.
solve the problem the hardest way possible. Like, don't go to your jujitsu classes and learn to pass guard. Let's pick up a whole other martial art and just like start from square one. See if this works.
I found a lot of the time, if your opponents if they manage just to see you practicing your judo throws before the tournament, they just pull guard.
Yeah, but then you can be a jerk, and when you feel them go to pull guard, just like sweep their other leg and get the takedown points. Totally, I have done that, and it has worked.
Oh,
The
man, I
Paralympic
so gotta learn how to do
makes
that.
it look easy. Michelle will teach you. That's beyond my capabilities.
I didn't make Paralympics hell. I don't even know the names of the throws I know.
Really?
I went in, this is how bad it was. So I went to a wrestling class last Friday, right? And we were doing like this wrestling takedown, kind of a leg, you get behind him, a kind of a leg sweep kind of thing. So I go into the judo class on Sunday, and I'm like, am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to do this grip? It's kind of, you know, that throw, the one, it starts with a U from the back, not the Uchi one, not the leg one, the U one. You know which one I mean? Like, they had no idea. They're like, what are you even doing? I don't know what the throw is called. I remember it starts with a U.
Do you know now?
I don't know.
I
No.
don't know. Beck, do you know?
It starts with a U, and you get picked up in the air. That's what I know. That's what I
Suplex?
know. Basically, but they don't
I really
call
know
it
like
that because it's
things
got to be
first
Japanese.
high on the part of the second yet, so
I don't know.
no idea.
I like the ones where like I already know the language, or it's like, okay, we gotta really like the people coming in here are gonna be concussed, so we need to make this easy for them. How do we choke? What's this choke? Triangle. The legs are a triangle and they're choking. Triangle choke. Easy. Like, do that.
Makes sense.
God.
It does. It does. Old school Brazilian way.
Yeah.
Let's not name anything. Let's just call it choke because we can't translate to English. Whoops. Hey, it's okay. We did the
That's
disclaimer.
on you.
Yeah,
That
that was on
me.
me. Are we done with the intros?
This is why you put the
Sorry.
warning. It's fine.
Well, good. At
Oh,
least we've
oh,
all
me.
thrown a shot now, so
I haven't.
Yeah, right.
I haven't done anything yet. I've been nice. The worst I said is that I'm an asshole.
Michelle's been swearing. Oh,
Fuck
I
you.
still have to go.
you have to just go.
But should I introduce myself or should we just leave it?
Oh
Okay.
no.
All right,
if
so-
we
Gotta
do
go.
it,
No,
so do
you're
you.
going.
Okay. All right. So I'm Andre. I'm in Sydney, Australia. I'm 34, and I'm a first degree black belt under Anthony Lange at Lange's MMA here on the Northern Beaches, and we were the very first gym in Sydney, starting in like 1993 or something like that. And I've got so Michelle's the competitor. I'm retired because I've just rehabbed a bulging disc in my neck.
Retired or
Retired from competition, though the upcoming ADCC trials may pull me back in. I don't know. I'll say my doctors are not going to like it. I just won't tell them. And I've been at this. Yeah, we just don't tell them. They don't know. I've been at this for 13 years. So I'm the black belt of the group. Michelle's the competitor, and Beck is our black belt in technology and the karate black belt.
yeah.
So we have 2 Olympics potentials and me.
Ha. No, you got your what? You got your skills too. What's your nickname?
One of my training partners calls me Zatoichi.
What do I call you?
I don't remember.
I think you do. I think the fear is showing, and we just need the hate to come out.
Which nickname? Okay, which nickname? So the blue belt likes to poke the black belt. Which nickname? The first nickname, the second nickname, or the nickname that you changed my name to on the Ice Free BJJ
Well, the
messenger
one
group.
right now on Ice Free BJJ is currently Dog Gina.
Dear.
Because I couldn't find a way to combine Chihuahua and pussy. But now I done it. Okay, we got a 3 for all.
Is it a
Okay,
puss
you
wawa?
sure you don't want me to edit this now?
No, not at all.
This is fine. I don't care. Everyone knows I'm an asshole. I said it 3 times already. I'm an asshole. It's fine. No, you're the mighty Chihuahua. We should get you a little cape.
So do I have to get a patch made up for my gay? Or?
Yes, you do.
There is a place that does custom patches. I had one made up when I had my sponsor. So 2015 when I was a brown belt, I was sponsored by an escort agency. Just for the people listening, that's another story we'll get into for another podcast, but it's a funny one. And I went and got their logo printed up, and I didn't sew it. Someone else did it for me. Sewed it onto my gi. I went to the tournament, and everyone was looking at the phone number, going, "Oh, what's that? Why is there a stiletto gi?"
Oh, you just
So
had a
there is
stiletto?
It was a stiletto, and it said Desires, Parlors, Brookvale, and Wollongong, and and I think a few people took a photo, and I'm like, I know where you're going. So there is definitely places to do custom patches. I just have to go take it back down there when we're not in lockdown.
Mm.
We're gonna have
So
to start
I'm the
another
only
meeting
one.
for this.
We should get one for Eyes Free. We should
Oh,
still get
yeah,
one.
we should. Yeah,
We're gonna have to
definitely.
start another meeting for this because we're running out of time on this meeting.
Okay, no
I
worries.
knew we'd
Right,
get
so,
lost.
so part one, the introductions are over. Then we can just start another one and talk some smack,
Right on.
Sounds good.
All right, let's stop this.
which I think Michelle started anyway.
I did. Well, look, it ain't my fault.
Let's go for it.
Okay, right. Welcome back to part two of the first episode of the Eyes Free BJJ podcast. Trigger and disclaimer warning: some of the may be offensive language, actions, or anything. So viewer discretion is advised.
Actions.
And we're back. So we almost had our first guest because I got a phone call.
Hold on, I'm stuck on the offensive actions.
When I try to reach
Yeah, it's a
into the screen
podcast.
to give Michelle the finger.
I'm
Isn't it a
giving you the
podcast?
finger right
They
now.
can't
so
see
I
us
beat
either.
you. All right. Yeah.
was-
First of all, I wouldn't even see that. Second of all, I beat you to it. So
I was just trying to cover all the bases. Bases.
face high.
Bases. Whatever. Who gives a shit? It's not jiu-jitsu.
I don't fucking
All right. So maybe we should talk a bit about how we all met. Because that was kind of a...
Dude, I don't remember.
Yeah, right?
Facebook.
Yeah.
It was Facebook, wasn't it? It was that... I remember seeing Michelle on the Vision Impaired Grapplers.
That was my page. I made that page.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I didn't
Okay,
know there was
nice.
a blind martial arts page, and I made like a vision impaired grapplers page.
Huh.
Yeah.
oh, that's why you were so active on it.
Yeah.
That
I
makes
Oh,
sense.
wow.
Screwed off on there. I was like, well, okay.
Cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Did not know that. It's fantastic. We're learning stuff. And who added me? That Finn Hellman from Sweden added me when I was
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to go over there. And that's where I saw you and Michelle, and that's where I noticed, I'm going, oh, she actually trains and does things properly and competes. And it's like, let's try and get her on Facebook. And then Beck showed up. Facebook again, right? I remember you just kind of messaged me.
Yeah. Well, after I saw your message, like, I think you were looking for people for. Did you say Matt Cooper's post? I went on this internet dive, and I started trying to find. Okay, well, are there any other blind people in jiu-jitsu that currently, I knew that judo's had blind competitors because it's a Paralympic sport, but I'd never heard anything much about Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So I went around and I found a podcast. That's where I heard of Michelle, from Michelle. And yeah, I found your podcast. I think it was Blind Abilities, was it?
I don't know. I've done a couple.
Yeah. So I heard about you from there, and I heard one from Andre, Beyond the Black Belt. So basically I cyber stalked everybody and thought, hey, let's make a group.
That's what white belts do, right?
Yeah, right. But behind the black belt, we got to get Rich on as well. That he'll be good to have on.
So hold on now, because Andre found me through my Facebook page, and Beck found me through a podcast. Am I like? Did I just become famous?
I think you did.
Did I just become blind BJJ famous? Is that
You did.
what we're doing?
Maybe.
Hey, I'm gonna claim that title.
I think, yeah. Well, this podcast is riding on your popularity, Michelle. So
Yeah,
That's what it is. Y'all just riding my
you have to keep
coattails.
at
That's
it.
what it is.
yeah. She's
Yeah.
Paralympian. She's
I'm not yet, though.
nearly.
I'm not. I'm number 9.
Oh, number 9 in the world. Boo-hoo.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Damn.
know, right?
only
Like, that's just,
9.
Yeah.
Well, that
Wow.
means if 8 people drop out due to COVID, that means
single
you're in.
digits, guys.
Hell yeah.
Like, that's all, you know.
You can count them on 2 hands.
Not even a 6 in there. Like, it's not even a good number.
Though there is a possibility of eight people dropping out to COVID, and you could still possibly go to Tokyo.
I think if, like, one person, I don't know how it works. I don't know. Because I think they have, like, 2 spots for totally blind people, which, like, the totally blind people, I think, are down in, like, 20 or 30 something. So why that? And I'm being a little bit being a dick. Because, like, if you're down in the 20s and 30s, why? But also, like, that's just fucking mean. Because you know that, like, okay, so, hey, let's put number 27 up against the number 1 ranked competitor. Like, that's not going to end badly.
Ouch.
Like, right? And then they keep they call it an apartheid position, I think, for, like, a developing nation. I don't know, someone who can't afford to send their athletes. They keep one of that, and then they keep a position for the hosting country. So, like, they pretty much just put, like, here's 4, like, you need to be in, like, the top 4 or something like that. I think. I don't fully understand how it works, because I've only done 2 of these competitions. So, like, and in the last competition, I didn't know the rules. Oh, my poor coach. Oh, my God. He was literally sitting there on the sidelines like, Michelle, you have a point. 15 seconds left. I'm like, okay. I have to fight for 15 seconds or I'm going into overtime with a black belt. And, like, I mean, it is not unreasonable to expect your athletes to know the rules at that level. So that is not his fault. That is my fault, because I'm a stubborn ass. I don't learn.
But do you know the rules for the jiu-jitsu competitions?
Mostly. Not really.
Mostly?
I look at them before I go.
I'm the same way.
I know that the difference between points fighting and submission only. And I know, especially with the submission only, to look and make sure, okay, I'm not allowed to do neck cranks. I'm not allowed to do spinal cranks, no heel hooks, and blah, blah, blah. And then blue belt, I pretty much just don't attack the legs, and everything else is okay. No knee bars, no heel hooks. Everything else is okay, to my understanding. I don't know.
I think that sounds correct to me. But truthfully, I've only ever read the rules once. And I think that was for my very first tournament back in 2009. And then I never read them again.
I feel like there's 2 things. I am going to hunt for the submission. Because to me, and this is where, like, I don't care. I do not care if it's MMA, if it's Muay Thai, if it's Jiu-Jitsu, if it's karate, if it's judo, if it's taekwondo. It is a martial art. It is a combat sport. I feel like a lot of people really focus on the sport and they want points fight and they want to whatever. Oh, I got the points. I'm just going to ride it out. Fuck you. Combat sport. Combat sport. If you don't want to hurt somebody, or you don't want to, not hurt, but, like, if you think that we're going to come in and I'm just going to go, yay, I got mount, I'm going to stay here. No, I'm going to fucking hurt you. I am going to hurt you because I am going to be trying to submit you. I'm not going to gently lay you on the floor. I am going in hard for that takedown. I am hunting your neck and your arm, and I'm expecting you to do the same to me. If you have any respect for me as a competitor, and if you don't, I'm going to hurt you badly because you're not going to be defending yourself properly, and that's going to be your fault. Like, it just, you know what I mean? Like put up a bit of a fight. Try to get the submission. So to me, like, yeah, I'm going to look at the rules. I'm going to know the rules. I need to know, okay, there's points for this position and there's points for that position. I don't focus on the points. I know if I submit you, I win. And it doesn't matter if I'm in jiu-jitsu or if I'm in judo. If I submit you, I win. If You submit me, you win. So I'm hunting for the finish. Like combat sport. Duh. So, I mean, there's a chance that, yeah, I'm going to pull off some submission that's not allowed. Like, I mean, we train heel hooks at the MMA club. Of course, like at Toshido, we train heel hooks. The white belts know how to do a heel hook. Am I going to do that in competition? No, because I know it's illegal. Whatever. But like if I go in for a choke and it's like a perfect clean technique that I've learned and it happens to be a judo competition and they go, oh, you're not allowed to use that submission. Fuck. Like there's one part of me on a fuck, but then the other part, you know what? Hey, I submitted you. So like I'm not mad. I'd be more mad if I lost on points, like someone freaking held me in half guard and won on an advantage or some stupid shit like that.
That advantage rule where if you just put their shoulders to the mat while sitting in someone's half guard, you get an advantage.
What?
Yeah, most ridiculous.
Oh my god.
I don't know if it's still a rule, but it was for the longest time, and it made no sense to me.
Points fighting doesn't make sense to me.
No,
I mean, it does at a certain level, right? And then even you see it in the MMA, like in the UFC, you see it, and it's like, okay, because you don't want to be concussed and have your legs broken, but like, still, don't fight if you don't want to get hurt.
I've said this to students and people for the longest time. Like, if you base your game solely focusing around points, do wrestling. There's a reason why there are submissions in jiu-jitsu. It also makes it unquestionable, very clear who won. Who won?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy that didn't have his arm broken or isn't asleep on the floor of the mat. He's the winner.
See the guy with the blue face? Yeah, he lost. Like, you know, I mean, it's pretty clear. But yeah, I mean, if you want a points fight, do wrestling, do judo. Even judo, they're allowed some submissions. But, you know, do that. Whatever. Do your points fighting. But to me, if I'm allowed to submit you, you better believe that's what I'm looking to do. Because I'm expecting you to try to do that to me too. Like, I don't look at an opponent and go, oh, this person's going to be real easy. Like, this person doesn't know what they're doing. I'm just going to fuck them up. No, you made weight. You showed up. You stepped on the mat across the mats from me. So I'm assuming that you have some intention of putting in your best effort and trying to win. Right?
Who would think that? That is the whole aim of the game. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. I don't want to fight someone who doesn't want to. I don't want to fight. Like, there are certain people, and I will sign up. If there's a competition, I just got back from the UK. Look, I traveled for 30 hours. 30 hours on airplanes, in airports to get over there, right? I've also walked 20 minutes to a local gym for a local in-house competition. I don't care where the competition is. I love competing. And to me, like, there are some people that I want to fight because I know they're going to put up a good fight. Like, when I was over in the UK, I'm like, okay, it's me and a bunch of black belts. Judo's not my favorite sport. It's not. If I have my choice of competitions, I will take jiu-jitsu any day over a judo competition. I will. It's not a secret. You know, I mean, some people, oh my God, well, you're professional judo. Yeah, and I've said this right to the national coach. I do like judo, but I love jiu-jitsu because I'm allowed more submissions, right? Because I've got more variety. So I would take a jiu-jitsu match any day. Any day would be my number one choice out of the two. But I looked and went, okay, very, very high level black belts. That's going to be a challenge for me. I want to compete against them. Then I've done local competitions. There's this one girl, Silk. Oh my God. If I see her name on the registration, I am signing up. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how far I got to drive. I don't care. I'm competing against this woman. Like, she has been hands down my toughest opponent. Out of every competition I've had, she is hands down my toughest opponent. And it's like, we are dead tied. We both have a gold medal. We both have a silver medal. We both have 2 wins and 2 losses. Like, we need COVID to be over so we can have our tiebreaker. And she has called me out for this on Facebook. She's like, we need this to end so that we can have our tiebreaker. I'm like, yeah, we do. I will sign up for any competition she's in, because that woman, she will throw me, she will pin me, she will submit me, and I will do the same to her. She is going to put up a good fight. And then there's other people who I've competed against who have never, in our history of competing, have never scored a point on me. Not once. Very nice people, but
So is she
$50 or $100 to go and compete against someone who it's just like, okay, well, I know how this is going to go because you've never even scored a point on me. I'm not going to pay to compete against that person. Like, if there are other people signed up, sure, but if that's my option, I'd rather keep the money. You're paying for a medal at that point, you know.
So is she a judo girl, or is she jiu-jitsu?
She jits and judo, but like, we compete in from what I know, she does judo as well. But we have only faced off in 2 little in-house jiu-jitsu competitions, and it's been like, it's a friggin' war every time. I don't know. I know
Wow.
she's a blue belt. From what I've seen, she's got a couple stripes on her belt. I don't know how many, but they look faded and they look like they're peeling off. But I'm telling you, she's got the judo throws. She's got the wrestling takedowns. She has got the submissions. Our first match, I actually threw her with a judo throw. Had it been a judo match, I think I would have won. Is what people, oh my God, you got the throw. And I'm just like, yeah, that's great. But because it was jiu-jitsu, this chick, she has these long legs. I threw her perfectly. And those freaking legs shot up, went around my neck, and I was caught in a triangle choke so fast I didn't, like, my head was spinning. I was like, whoa, okay. So, I mean, then the next competition we had faced off again, and it went in my favor, where I actually beat her. And I mean, both times, like, we went and shook each other's hands, and it was, you know, at the end of it, like, shook each other's hand, thanked each other for the match. And the last time, she actually said to me exactly what I'm saying on here right now about her. You know, she came, shook my hand, said, you know, thank you. I saw your name on the registry. I remember you were that really tough chick that I fought last fall, and I had to come fight you again. And I'm like, that's the best compliment I've ever gotten in my life. Like, you know, like, thank you.
That's a pretty big compliment.
Yeah.
So let's touch on this, because I think we could talk about competitions until tomorrow.
Next year.
Grips. So yeah, yeah. So us as vision impaired grapplers and competitors, let's talk about grips versus no grips.
Uh,
Let's talk about the gay versus no gay.
We'll let you guys field that before I put in our trigger warning offense alert.
Beck, what do you think? Because Beck, you've done judo now, where I have never competed in judo, but like, I've trained judo, and I've been fortunate enough to train judo under like Jean LaBelle, Gurko Chavician. So some of the best people. I still suck so bad, and but I've never been in that incident where I've had to fight under those rule sets for the VIs. Beck, what did you think? How did you start, and what is your opinion on the grips versus no grips?
well, I think because I got my grappling start in judo. That's kind of that was my first impression, and it's what I know best. I prefer it, and that's probably the main reason I'm hesitant to even really do BJJ competitions. I thought, you know, it would be crazy, but apparently there's people that do it, like you guys that do it, that are totally blind, or near to. And well, for me, the idea of, I've looked at the rule sets in Paralympic judo. You start with grips, and if you lose contact, the ref just stops the match and you regain contact. You get your grips again. There's no such rule for that in BJJ, and whether or not how people feel about it is up to them. But for me, as a totally blind competitor, I mean, that's pretty intimidating. I wouldn't be able to hear them over, you know, a match going on and other stuff going on. There's nothing to stop them from, you know, just sneaking around behind me, taking my back. I mean, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the rule set's not for me friendly, but that's okay. That's just where I stand on it.
That's fine. So you're pro grip starting.
Yeah, I think I would be.
Yeah. And the no gi, that's not something that you're interested in jumping into the competition scene for.
I haven't even considered that for no gi. I mean, I'm only just starting getting my head around no gi jiu-jitsu.
That's fair. Did Michelle go and get something, or do we have her?
Yeah, I'm here.
She's
You here?
yeah.
I'm here.
She's on the opposite side of the fence. She's trying to restrain herself.
So,
Okay, so
no, well, because I had to get, so when you said the starting with grips, and then I was just like, oh shit, I gotta get my whiskey. And then I got my whiskey, and then I poured it into my Pepsi, and then I was trying to, I spilled some of the whiskey on the can of the Pepsi, and then it was all sitting at the top, and then what I got was like really strong, so I just been over here choking, and my eyes are watering, but I'm okay, we're living through
it's
it.
supposed to go the other way around, and whiskey then
Well,
Pepsi.
when you play, a cup. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pouring the whiskey into the can.
Yeah. We're not in high school anymore, Michelle. We don't
Shut
have
up!
to do that. We're all
I'm
of
not
legal
that far
drinking
out of
age.
high school, you old ass little.
And I just nearly shot
Chihuahua
whiskey out
gremlin.
my nose. Thanks, guys.
Now it doesn't go in your nose, Beck. Oh,
No,
Yeah,
it nearly came out my nose.
That's only when you
Not
have a
supposed to do that
broken or
either.
dislocated jaw from like forearm chokes is when you have to drink whiskey through your sinuses.
I have cups. I just want to specify, like, I'm not that poor. I have cups. I just am really fucking dumb sometimes.
We believe
Shut up.
you. So Michelle, grips
Go chase
versus
the
no
tennis
grips.
ball, you little fucking chihuahua.
The tennis balls are too big for chihuahuas.
Probably.
so-
You would know.
I know, right? So grips versus no grips. I think me and Michelle actually agree on this. I did
Go first.
start. Yeah, I did start with grips for a little bit between white and purple, and then purple belt I just completely threw it away, and I would argue with the ref and say I don't want to start with grips. I had better vision back then. So just for everybody listening, so Michelle's got quite considerably much better vision than me and Beck. But even that, at purple belt, I threw it out. I'm just like, no way. No, I'm like, stop this crap. People keep getting like cross collar grips on me and all this other stuff, and it's like, And Michelle, and I even once at blue belt started with a collar tie grip for a no-gi tournament, and the guy was huge, 130 kilos,
Ooh.
and just broke off, and then body lock took me down straight away into mount. And I'm just like, not again, not again. All right, go Michelle. I can tell it's coming out. Whether
Yep.
Okay. Anyone who is pro grips or has kids, get your kids out of the room right now and maybe skip forward about 5 minutes. I'm giving the break now because you've been warned. Fuck the fucking grips and all the people with the grips. I hate it. No. God.
Michelle, we love you
fucking hate
too.
it. No. So, okay. So here's my problem. And then keep in mind, I got 10% vision out of one eye. One. I can't see shit out of my left eye at all. There's nothing. It's gone. It may as well take it out. It doesn't do anything. I don't care. and then I got 10%
Oh,
out of my right eye. That's it.
You're a righty as well, so am I.
Yeah, like I got labeled as B2 by the Paralympic committee people. So like I'm pretty fucking blind. And that shocked me because I didn't think I was that blind. But they're like, no, you're really blind. And I'm like, okay. So here's my thing. Here's my story. I never started with grips as a white belt in training. Because I started with jujitsu, okay? I had been doing jujitsu. I was competing in jujitsu before I even started training judo, okay? So, like, I started with no-gi jujitsu. That was my first experience, was no-gi jujitsu. Then when I got put in the gi, I was a white belt, like maybe a one, I wasn't even a one stripe because that was my first experience with a belt. So I was like a brand new white belt, not a single stripe. I'm going up against this big dude who's like, I don't know in kilos, but he was like 250 pounds, which is like well over 100 kilos. And he was like 6 foot tall. Okay, you math nerd. And he was 6'5". So I'm not even trying for centimeters. He's fucking big. And like I'm in the gi and I'm like, okay, starting from the knees, we're gonna spar. Awesome. He grabs onto my collar and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what is it? It's like, I couldn't get away from him. I was like, I'm trapped now because this dude's got grips. So now, obviously, now I train in the gi and I'm more comfortable with that. That's fine. But again, I train at an MMA club now. MMA. Wrestling heavy, not jujitsu. No gi heavy. I mean, not judo. Whatever. Blame it on the whiskey. I'm done. So it's wrestling, it's not judo focused, right? It's no gi focused, it's not gi focused. There is a gi class, but so I'm like, okay, I'm training. When I'm training, I do not start with grips. I'm perfectly comfortable training no gi. And then people are like, oh, Michelle, you can start with grips in no gi too. You just get the over under where you get like a grip on the bicep and a grip on the head. Like
good.
the
Skype's
wrestling
breaking up.
grips. I'm like, you would. So now Mike, huh?
Oh, sorry.
Michelle, can
Zoom's
you
just
can you
breaking up.
repeat that because Zoom was just breaking up a bit.
Yeah. So when I started competing in jiu-jitsu, and my coach at the time, like this was my first coach at my recreational club, and he was just like, well, like you're visually impaired, like we could talk to the referee and you might be able to start with grips. I said, no, like why would I don't want to start with grips. I don't start with grips here and my opponents can see. So like what's the point of that? Like then they got grips on me too. So how's that an advantage for me? The only difference is now they have their grips and they can see what I'm doing. Like that's stupid. That's not an advantage for me. No. So I went into my first competition. I think it was only gi, and I walked through the whole division. No one, now keep in mind, white belt, but not a single point scored on me, not once. The second competition as a white belt, again, only gi, no grips, and I scored wrestling takedown. Like I think it was a single leg, but I got her down. And again, no one scored a point on me. I mean, the guy did, but I went up against a brown belt male in the absolute division. So like he fucked me up, but I mean, that was just for fun. My division, no one scored a point on me, not once as a white belt. Definitely changed once I got my blue belt. But so by the time I got into judo and I did the judo competitions, and my first coach was really wanting me to start with grips. Now, I didn't understand why, but you know, hindsight kind of clears things up. They were planning on me going to the Para Pan Ams, right? Because, oh, well, you're visually impaired and you do judo. Basically, all the boxes were checked. They're like, go do the Para Pan Ams. So I'm like, okay. So they wanted me to start with grips because that's what you do. Like, you have to do that for the Paralympic competitions, for any International Blind Sport Association competition. You have to start with grips. It's not an option. And it makes sense. Because let's just say me and Beck both doing judo. If me and Beck go to face off, well, Beck, like, you're totally blind. I'm not.
I have 1%.
I'm pretty
so literally, you've got 10
So I have
times the
10
vision
times
I have.
as much vision as you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, like, I'm going to be able to see you way better than you can see me. It makes sense for me and you, if we're sparring or anything like that, to start with grips, because I'm at a distinct advantage, right? So in the Paralympics, in the Paralympic qualifiers, in any IBSA competition, that's fine. I will start with grips because I know, look, I've signed a contract. I've agreed to a set of rules. I need to play by those rules. But in local competitions, I compete in the gi, I compete in no-gi, I compete in judo, I compete in jiu-jitsu. There are 15 freaking medals up on my wall for a reason. I do not need to start with grips. I don't. And my opponents can see. So to me, I'm like, you know what? As a competitor, like I said, I want you to respect me as a competitor, so I'm going to respect you as a competitor. If you're a strong wrestler, that's your game. Starting with grips is going to fuck up your game. That's just a cheat to me. I'm not going to cheat you out of, and I can hear, like, that's something I've really worked on with my coaches, is like listening to where the people are stepping on the mat. Because I also spar in Muay Thai, right? So to me, and I get hit a lot, sure, of course, but I pay to get hit a lot. I know I'm going to get hit a lot. I train for self-defense. So to me, I love the competitions. They're fun. But if I'm going to say that, yeah, I can compete, then I need to compete under that rule set. And if I'm going to train for self-defense like I do, then, you know, no one, if some chick decides she's holding me at gunpoint and robbing me, she's holding me at gunpoint and robbing me. She's not going to let me start with grips. You know, if creepy guy in the bar has bad intentions for me, now he might let me start with grips, because a lot of guys are fucking stupid and they try and go and put their arm around you and cuddle up because you're just so cute. And they give you the grips and then they go flying through the air and then they're laying on the ground like a bag of shit. Oh, what happened? So, yeah. But yeah, I do not like starting with grips at all. Rant over.
I'm in agreement. I have not started with grips for the longest time, because if people want to disengage, they would disengage. And then you have to chase them down regardless. Happened to me so many times. Michelle, can you please tell the Mexico story? So, everybody, this, one of the reasons why we did agree to start this podcast, besides me getting super excited and be like, let's do it, because I'm just going to keep talking about it until it happens, is because we're under the strong belief that, I could be annoying as fuck. Is that we're all under the same belief that this is really for everybody and is one of the best sports for people in our situation. Like, don't take us to play golf; it's boring. Tennis, like, if you want to see us get concussed, that's fine.
Oh my god, I want to see that.
Blind tennis.
Hold on.
It's so ridiculous. Why do they do it?
The ball would have to be the size of a fitness ball for me to even see it if it was glowing.
Yeah.
If we made some blind people play squash, I want to see that. What? Where you go?
Gnarly.
See?
Like, you can't put us on a
safer.
bike by ourselves. Don't put me in the water, because sharks. So this is and so this is really the perfect, like, platform and sport, or martial art for people in our situation, because we can play on a level playing field with everybody else. Like, Michelle, you two are the only two vision impaired friends that I've ever had in my entire life. I also have never ever competed against anybody else with a vision impairment in my 13 years of doing jiu-jitsu. So
no, and if I didn't do para-judo, I wouldn't have either.
Yeah, right. So this is, like, we are kind of living proof that this is possible, and it is completely adaptable, into self-defense scenarios. And this is why I want you to tell this story, because it's also hilarious.
This story is my favorite story. It is a favorite story at the judo club. I think it's a pretty friggin' popular story at the MMA club too. So this happened, oh my God, a few years ago now. Like, this was pre-COVID. This is almost 3 years ago now. I had barely started judo, so I can't even really fully say judo. This was like kind of judo, kind of jujitsu. So I'm at the club.
But you were blue
I've
belt.
flown to Mexico. No, I was a white belt.
You were still a white belt.
Oh, I might have been a brand new, yeah, no, I was a brand new blue belt. I was actually a brand new, because I got my blue belt in October and I went to Mexico in December.
Wow.
So I've had my blue belt less than 2 months at this point. I've been doing judo once a week for like 3 months. So this is my level of training, like a year and a half of jujitsu and 3 months of judo. Like, I'm still a baby, okay? So I fly to Mexico for Christmas with my dad. And he goes to bed, and I'm like 24 or something like that. I don't even know anymore. I just quit counting at a certain point. I quit counting at 21, but anyway. So I was like 24, some shit. And I'm at this nightclub in Mexico, and my dad's got a cunt of a girlfriend, and she had a stepson. So she had a son. Me and her son are in this bar. Absolutely wasted, totally drunk. So I'm out on the dance floor. I got this little $10 sundress and a pair of flip-flops on. Seems irrelevant, actually matters to the story. So anyway, little $10 sundress and pair of flip-flops, drunk off my ass. I'm dancing, I'm partying, I'm having a good time. This massive dude, and like not massive strong, but like 1.5 feet taller than me. Like, this dude was well over 6 feet tall. He was just this really big dude. And he comes and he's dancing with me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we're dancing. Not dirty dancing, just regular dancing. And then his hand comes up and he grabs me by the back of the head, pulls me in, and forced me to kiss him. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, dude, no. So I put my hand like on his chest, like on his kind of his chest, his shoulder, where you would normally go to grab the gi. Because that's where I'm used to putting my hand, right? It's like grabbing the collar of the gi. So I put my hand on his shoulder chest thing and I push him away. I'm like, dude, no. So I'm kind of going, okay, like I've told him no. There's a ton of people around. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He's not going to be a dickhead. So I keep dancing. I'm kind of moving away from this guy. You know, like, okay. I'm kind of moving away from him. He fucking grabs me again. Grabs me by the back of the head again. Grabs me, tries to pull me. I'm like, dude. So I put my hand on the same spot on his chest, on his shoulder. I'm like, fuck. But at this point, now, even though I'm super drunk, my training kicks in and I go, okay, I'm not turning my back on this guy because I could get choked. Like, he's made it clear he doesn't have good intentions for me. He's not listening when I say no. So I'm not turning my back. So I step out to like step around him. I still have my hand on his chest and I'm stepping like to sidestep him. His hand comes up again. I'm like, you motherfucker. Now I'm pissed. So with my hand on his chest, I've stepped out to the side. I'm lined up perfectly. I grab his elbow and I like pull his arm down, push his chest forward, and foot sweep him, like kicked his legs out from underneath him. This little fucker, he damn near did a flip. Like, he just went whoop up in the air and boom down on the ground. I'm holding his arm still and I'm standing over him. He's just laying there dazed, like, what the fuck just happened?
Hello, ground.
I'm standing and I'm holding his arm and I'm going, everything in me is just going, arm bar, ground and pound, fuck him up. Mexican prison. Okay. Drop the arm. I start walking towards the stairs and then I'm like, oh shit. I realize what I just done. Like, I've just like thrown this guy hard on the floor. Oops. In Mexico. I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm like walking over to the stairs with my hands up. I'm like, okay. And the bouncer comes walking over to me. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm leaving. He's just like, leave. Why? I'm like, well, because I just threw that guy on his head. He's like, oh, no. I watch. I see. He grab is no. He grab is no. He grab, boom. And he's just like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, he's just giggling like that. It was just hilarious. I'm like, dude. And then I start laughing, right? I'm like, what the fuck? He grabs to the bar and he goes, hey, shot a tequila for my amiga Ronda Rousey.
Ah, yes. I love that.
Like, what? And I'm like, and it gets better. So I'm like standing there. I do my shot of tequila. I'm standing at the bar, and these guys start talking to me like, that was pretty fucking cool, you know? Like, and then this guy who had been grabbing me, his friend comes over. He's like, my friend would like to apologize to you if that's okay. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. He can stay over there, though. All of a sudden, man, I look. I am surrounded by men, and I go, uh-oh. And they start asking me, like, so, like, do you train UFC? Or, like, I'm like, yeah, I do martial arts back home. Can you show me a move? Like, can you show? And I look at the bartender, I'm like, can I? Is it okay? He goes, oh, yeah, sure, yeah. So, like, I'm showing these guys, like, yeah, if I grab you by the head like this, then I can control you, and I can start throwing knees, and I can throw elbows. I look over at the dance. The dance floor is empty. There is no one. Like, the whole fucking bar is surrounding me now. My stepbrother, I guess, he comes over and he's just like, Michelle, what the fuck? I'm like, what? He's just like, every fucking guy in the bar is surrounding you right now. I said, yeah. So say thank you and go get yourself some pussy. They're all distracted.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god. We put the offense warning at the beginning of this. No one's allowed to get mad at that story.
No, we put 2 up. It's
They
okay.
were well warned several times.
I do think that's one of the best stories ever. It's living proof
I do
that,
too.
yeah. And so Michelle is, you're about 5'4" tall. Like, you know, you're not a 5'10" girl or anything like that. And you're tossing dudes
No,
on
I'm
their
5'4"
head in
and
the
like
bar.
145 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And I
just living
manhandled
proof.
that bitch in the bar.
And, yeah.
But it's not to say, like, look, if some guy is being physically violent, like, I want to make really clear here, this is not like I have an abusive boyfriend who is, you know, 200 pounds, 6'3", punching me in the face. Like, look, if you're being physically violent, if you are punching me, if you are trying to strangle me, if you are trying to kick and having weapons, like, I'm not engaging with you. Okay, I'm not going to stand there and try to outbox a man. I'm not. Like, I am too small. I am physically smaller. I am physically weaker because I'm a female. And I know that's an unpopular opinion these days. I don't fucking care. Listen, female is smaller and weaker 9 times out of 10, unless you're Gabby Garcia, you are going to be smaller and weaker than the man who's being aggressive towards you. So yes, grappling does work. And yeah, living proof. Okay, look, I have successfully disengaged. Like, I have done that. But that being said, I threw that man on the ground and I walked away. 1, I didn't get arrested for going overboard. 2, if I had decided to be an asshole and be like, yeah, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to kick him in the face, I'm going to start punching him, guess what he's going to do back to me? He's going to start punching me back, and I'm going to bet any money he can probably punch harder than me. So that's probably going to go very bad for me very fast. Like, there's a fine line, right?
That is very true.
Definitely.
You were able to diffuse that situation with, well, I'm sure it hurt hitting the ground because, hey, I've been thrown before. But, you know, you didn't break his arm. He could still go to work the next day or whatever. You didn't strangle him, so he didn't piss his pants.
Oh, I should have done that.
The only thing that was hurt, I know, right? The only thing that was hurt was his ego and,
maybe his ribs.
Maybe his ribs. But it's appropriate. Did you fall down with him?
No, I did not.
No, you just stood.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the appropriate level of aggression, right? Because there is the line that, like I say, I mean, yes, some women can outbox men. Okay, sure. Like I say, 9 times out of 10, the bigger, stronger person, you don't want to be engaging in a striking battle with them. right? Like that, just a general rule of thumb. If they're bigger and stronger, they can probably hit harder. It's probably not going to end well for you unless you get really, really lucky. But like, yeah, having that ability to, like, if you're put in a bad situation, having that ability to defend yourself is key, right? Like, I mean, I will engage in any event. If I have to strike with you, I will strike with you. If I have to throw you, if I have to choke you, if I have to armbar you, like, I'm going to do what I have to do to survive and to get myself out of that situation. But there's levels to it, right? Like, be smart about what you're doing, be reasonable in your response, because I'm not by any means saying like, oh, I'm this amazing fighter, I'm blah, blah, blah. But you got to think that if shit goes down, if someone puts their hands on me, I have the right to defend myself. But if the cops get called and I've gone super overkill and, you know, I've thrown this guy and he doesn't know how to fall, so he hits his head and he's knocked out, and I decide that, oh, well, while he's knocked out, I'm just going to beat the piss out of him. You know, the cops are going to look at that and go, okay, 1, not reasonable. 2, how many years have you been training? 3, oh, you're on the national judo team, the Paralympic judo team? Huh. Yeah, sounds like we can charge you with some shit. And they could. And they'd be right to.
I just bought a rum, guys, and I forgot it was hemp rum, and it tastes like dirt.
Ah. I got cheap whiskey and it tastes like cheap whiskey.
What brand?
Whoa, my bottle's frozen. Wisers. It's frozen. Oh shit, that's cold. Okay. Wisers.
That's what happens when you keep it in the
I'm gonna
freezer.
use a cup next time. Well, I want it cold, man. Look. It's not even in the freezer. It's sitting on my table, and like it's sitting on my table, and it's like 30 degrees here right now, and there's frost on the bottle. I don't know how it stayed.
Wow.
What
We
is
thought Canada
this?
would
Like,
get up to 30 degrees.
it got up to 45 a couple weeks ago, man. That heat wave, oof, it's bullshit.
Oh, please
And then it
give
cooled
me
down.
30. Please give me 30 degrees. It's so cold here. But yeah, you know, Michelle, with that incident, you were able to diffuse that pretty easily.
Very
I
easily.
find when I started jiu-jitsu, it gave me so much more confidence to do it, just to be by myself in public in vulnerable situations, you know, as someone with a disability. Because let's talk like flight and fight response. We don't have the ability to run.
No.
Our flight response is kind
I'm
of
gonna
already
trip over
naturally,
something.
I'm going to run into all the things.
That's it.
Yeah.
Head height.
Like, I'm not going to see a car coming. If I'm trying to run across the road, I'm going to get hit by a car. I'm going to trip over a curb. I have run into benches. Like, no shit. I was running to catch the bus, and last minute I went, uh-oh, there's a bench there, and boom.
Ouch.
Break fall saved me, but I mean, yeah, it saved my face, not my legs. Still.
I fell off the train station platform one time.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Just changing carriages. I was coming back from TAFE in the Blue Mountains of Sydney in Katoomba, and I looked at the carriage that I was getting on. I had more vision back then, and there's too many people. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be around all the people. So I moved across to the other carriage. I just walked across the platform. I stepped. There was no carriage there.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. I was fine.
Even knowing your break falls is valuable, just for stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just happy that I didn't hit the electrified rail, but it's stuff like that. So our flight capability is already taken away from us. So we have that one option, one instinctual option that we can undertake. And those of us who don't train don't have that option either.
No, it's just freezing.
Well, and it's also that, you know, most people now, I mean, again, if someone's going to put you in a bad situation, like if someone's being aggressive to you in any way, it's always safer to assume that they know what they're doing. I would rather assume that I am facing like a pro fighter, someone who's got a black belt in everything, rather than underestimate someone and, oh shit, they actually took a little bit of boxing and they're going to knock my head off, right? So assume they know what they're doing, defend yourself properly and effectively, and get the hell out of there. But most of the time, most people actually really don't know what they're doing. And the stuff that they give you is astonishing. Like they will give, they're so counterintuitive, right? If you punch them in the face, they turn away. Oh, thanks for giving me your back. You know, if I start pushing you down on the ground and you push away, you're pushing into me with your arms fully extended, I'm just going to take your arm. Like what they do is actually so counterproductive to actual self-preservation. It's amazing. And once you start to learn, like we have, I mean, Beck, you've been training, you haven't trained really that long in grappling compared to, you know, me and Andre. You're the newest one. And I would still argue that if someone untrained were to try to take you on, they'd find themselves in some pretty bad positions. Maybe not as bad as, you know, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, but still, you've been training for a few months. You know what the guard is, what an armbar is, what a triangle choke is, what mount is. I'm not saying you can do each technique flawlessly. Hell, I still can't, you know, but Andre's still learning. He's a black belt. You're always going to be learning. But
always,
you know, just having some training, this is why I say that even for me now, I landed in Mexico in the morning at like 7 a.m. This was the middle of the night. I was pissed drunk. Like I was gone. And I still reflexively, with like a year and a half of training, put myself in the right position to take this guy down. Because it's the repetition of it, right? Like one self-defense seminar, no. But repeatedly training martial arts over and over again, your body changes in its response to things. Like you start to realize that, okay, this is safe, this is not safe, and you reflexively do these things. I didn't plan on throwing this guy on the floor, but I knew, okay, don't turn your back. My hand reflexively went to where his collar would be to push him away. And when he brought his arm up, it was, you know, I just, okay, well, push, pull, kick the legs out. It's a judo throw. That's usually done in the gi. He wasn't wearing a gi, but I didn't need the gi because I recognized the opportunity there, right? Yeah. So, yeah. Need to learn.
I think it comes down to that saying, drillers make killers.
Oh God,
yes,
and I think Michelle might kill someone one day.
You know what? Look, if it comes down to where one of us has to die, if I don't kill you, you are going to kill me. Yeah, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do everything in my power to do it because I'm not dying. Like I'm not dying for you, right? But
can I make that thumbnail?
Yes, that would be perfect.
True to an extent. Drillers make killers is true to an extent. I would argue that no, drillers don't necessarily make killers. And the reason I'd argue that is, you know, like my coach at Toshido says this quite a bit. You can drill something over and over again. And that's great. Like you're going to be really good at doing that move, but it's like a boxer hitting a punching bag, right? He's going to have he might be like Mike Tyson with the jab, right? He's going to be really good. What happens when you hit that guy back? what happens when you slip his punch? He's never been hit before. He's just punching a bag, right? So it's the same thing. Yes, drillers make killers in a sense that, like, if I drill this move over and over, I'm going to get really good. I'm going to learn, okay, put my hand here, put my arm there, put this like there, do this, do this, do this. I'm going to know that move inside and out. Never given me resistance. I may as well be training with a grappling dummy. And the second you try to, you know, I don't want to use it. I don't want to try to use it against resistance for the first time and then realize, oh, fuck, this doesn't work. Right?
Yeah, that's where within jiu-jitsu we have to break it down. When just like we're in lockdown and stuff here, like in my part of Australia. Beck, you guys are good there, aren't you, at the moment? You're not stuck in.
Yeah, we're not on lockdown, but we do have restrictions.
Yeah.
So it's masks when you leave the house.
Yeah. So when I was teaching before my break and stuff, I like the rule of 15 times. First, when you're learning a new move, first 5 are done slow and as perfect as possible. Because if you do them, like, the time for doing it fast is not come yet. 5 times slow and correct, you've taught yourself the right way to do it in the first instance. And the next 10 times is where we start to bring in all right, let's do it a little bit faster. Let's start making resistance. And you need to train with resistance. Otherwise, how do you know, how do you know how much force to use? How do you know where the correct angles are? And one of the fantastic things with jiu-jitsu, it is, Joe Rogan described it perfectly. It's, let's play I kill you, and you kill me. You take someone's back, you put them in a rear naked choke, they tap out because they're saying, I don't want to die today.
Yeah.
And then you shake hands,
and that's fair.
Hug it out, and then do it all over again.
That's fair. I guess, yeah, and I mean, like, we do it the similar at Toshido too. Like, we'll do the drills during class. Like, you rep it out over and over and over, and you learn the move. And then at the end of every class, we do several rounds, whether it's jiu-jitsu, MMA, Muay Thai, doesn't matter. Several rounds of sparring. Like, we're usually going 5-minute rounds. So it's almost half the class, right? And you are working against resistance. And a lot of times you're working against high-level people. So you're going to find out real quick if you're screwing something up, if it doesn't work. 'Cause that person, they're either not going to tap or they're going to get past whatever you're trying to do. And, like, you will realize, oh shit, this doesn't work, and adjust it after you're done rolling or sparring or whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah. And this is what I love about jiu-jitsu, and everyone says it, and I still think it rings so true. You can do it at close to or at 100% almost every day if you don't mind being a bit sore sometimes. Where, like, I haven't trained any striking arts in such a long time. The last time I did any kind of boxing or Muay Thai sparring was with a very trusted training partner of mine back when I was training at higher stand. And he just let me just kind of jab and hit him. And then he ran around the room afterwards saying, hey, did you see how fast my punches were? I'm like Bruce Lee when sparring Andre. And then I had to pick myself up off the floor from laughing so hard. That's the thing, you can't. And I'm sure some people can, but I don't know, can you Muay Thai spar 100% all the time?
I would say no.
Getting your bell rung every round or every other round.
Eating elbows, eating knees, eating kicks, punches. I would say no. I would want to go 100% no.
I mean,
the
terminology we used to use in our karate style was you could have 100% focus, but not 100% contact. And then you could do it the other way around. You could have like 100% contact, but your intention would be like so slow that, like it would be slow motion. So it's really not a technique anymore at that point, because that's what we're drilling. But could you go 100% focus and 100% contact safely, maybe with sparring gear, but even then, that's been proven to not stop concussions and things like that.
Oh no.
Like people
And I
still
think depending,
messed up, so you wouldn't be able to do it all the time.
Once I think you start bringing elbows into the mix, your face is going to start getting
that's
cut,
a killer.
pretty
That's
cut
true.
up.
And I think it depends too on who you are, who your training partner is, and what you're training for, right? Because like even in jiu-jitsu,
Yes.
I don't want to go 100% all the time. In judo, I don't want to go 100% all the time. Like even
No.
grappling, like, man, I don't want to get thrown around at 100%. That shit hurts. I don't want to be getting choked and armbarred at 100%. That shit hurts, right? So, but again, it depends. Like, who am I training with? Because do I want the day one white belt going 100% on me? No, I really don't. Are they going to do it? Yep, probably. Then they're going to
For
be
sure.
hands flailing, and that's the whole reason I go, fuck. Ugh. You know, the hands are flailing, and they didn't cut their nails, and they don't know what to do, and you're getting punched in the face because they don't know what they're doing, and it just you got to just control them. You know, so like, no, I don't want to go 100% with you. But to go like 100% with, say, one of my coaches or one of my training partners that I've been training with for a couple of years, or someone that I really trust, or I will go. Like, I was in the wrestling class on Friday, and I was training with one of my training partners, Maria. She is a competitive fighter. She has a fight coming up in a month. You know, I just got back from the UK, and they're just like, okay, so 2022, the Paralympic qualifiers. I'm like, yeah, I will be there. Right? I have local competitions coming up. We were going hard. And again, we're wrestling. Like, this was, you know, the final round of the class was like jiu-jitsu from the feet, full on, like takedown submissions, all that. And we were just grinding it out. We were pouring sweat. Neither one of us could get grips on each other because we were so sweaty. We were just slipping. But I'm like, with her, I will go 100% with her. I will go 100% with Jen. I will go 100% with like some of my other, you know, some of my other teammates, because I know them and I trust them. And I know that we both have enough technique and control that we can go hard. And maybe it's not even 100%, maybe it's 70% or 80%. But regardless, we're going hard, but we're going hard with control because we need to push each other because we're getting ready for a competition. Or
I'm actually really
whatever, right?
Yeah, I'm actually really glad you brought that up, Michelle, because that's one thing. Going 100% doesn't, well, at least in jiu-jitsu, I feel it doesn't mean 100% physical exertion.
No.
Especially when you get, you know, to your color belts. When you start knowing jiu-jitsu better, you start understanding timing, angles, control. Control is one of the most the biggest thing that separates, you know, the first 2 weeks beginner from like a seasoned competitor or trainer. Two people that are at the same level training, you know, at a decently high level, you know, blue, purple, brown, black, right? If when I've been training for tournaments, I will go 100%, but it's not 100% physical exertion. It's 100% control, timing, angles, and then putting that all together to then, you know, accumulate into a really good, hard, you know, training match where we're both tired, but we haven't injured each other. We're not walking away with bruises. None of us are cut open. And that is where the longevity will come in. You know, like, if I would, you know, like to know if you guys, hopefully everyone does agree with me, but I think those are the main components which make up safe and long-lasting training as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you go 100% physical force, like, I mean, let's just, like Andre, if you and I were rolling, you're a black belt. You better believe you're a black belt man. Of course I'm going 100% with you Because if I don't, I'm probably pretty fucked. I'm smaller, I'm weaker, and I'm less experienced, right? So I'm going to have to go 100% with you. That doesn't mean I'm cranking on chokes and arm bars and heel hooks. That does mean I'm going to be very technical. I'm going to be very deliberate in every move that I make. I'm going to be very deliberate in how I trap your leg to pass your guard. I'm going to be very deliberate on where I put my head to put pressure on your stomach or your sternum or your chest to control you. Like, I'm going to be very technical, very precise, very deliberate in my movements and my timing of those movements. And if I get the submission, yeah, I'm putting it on. But I'm not going to, oh, I got his arm, and crank and snap your arm. Like, I'm going to put that submission on with control. I'm not going to do it so slow that you can get out, but I'm not going to just slam it on as fast as I can and try to rip your arm off, because guess what I'm not going to have tomorrow? A training partner. Like, you know, you're going to be off for 6 months. No one's going to want to train with me because I'm the asshole that broke the black belt's arm. Like, yeah.
I know. We'll only see it on YouTube when Michelle posts it up.
Yeah, I will put it on YouTube. But I mean, even if we were like, Andre, if you and I were sparring or like doing a jiu-jitsu roll, say we started a roll from the feet, you would probably want to go 100% on me on the takedowns, and I would want to go 100% on you on the ground, whereas I am not going to go 100% on you for takedowns. And I would assume that you're not going to go 100% on me on the ground, because we know that we're at different skill levels there.
That's definitely true. And 100%
judo, right?
Yeah, and 100% on the feet for me might not even be. It's not offensively 100%. It would be defensively.
You're gonna pull guard.
Just oh, for sure. I'm not gonna pull guard, Michelle. I'm just gonna sit down. I told you, I'm coming in on the office.
You before you can sit down.
I'm coming in on the office chair. I'm gonna slide onto the mat. I'm gonna butt scoot over.
You know what's gonna happen is I'm not even gonna do a judo throw. I'm gonna actually do a wrestling takedown on you. So that when you go to sit down, I'm just gonna slip behind you, like take the back, just clasp around your hips, shoot my hips in, and fucking launch you. So your guard pull is just gonna help my takedown. You're welcome. He's picturing it now, and it hurt him.
You did a bit. I'm just like, wait, did I get that breakfall correctly?
Oh, no, you didn't. You didn't.
No, I didn't.
You stuck your arm way out like a fucking idiot, and you broke it. You're like, oh no! And then it just went snap, and then I was like, oh, for God's sake, doctor.
Told you. I didn't learn a breakfall until I was a purple belt.
Well, you're a black belt now,
I was
so
very
you've got
behind
2 belts
on that.
worth of learning.
Yes, that is true. They are a lot better than what they used to be.
Good.
But yeah, we'll do that. We'll post it up. Ice-free BJJ versus ice-free BJJ.
You're definitely posting it. But no, I mean, realistically, like when I'm going to be higher level than you for throws and takedowns, and you're going to be higher level than me in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's what we're trained in. Like I am trained in judo. You're not. You are a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I am not. Beck's a black belt in karate. She's going to hit me faster than I can hit her.
Well, maybe not
You know
these
what I mean?
days.
Oh yeah,
Something
Beck,
about
don't hit us. Yeah, don't hit us when we meet you.
She will. She's gonna get mount, and she's gonna get mount, and she's just gonna like slap in the face and be like, see.
Yeah, remember what I said about karate? You remember what I said about karate?
What did you say about
That's okay.
karate?
Yeah, what did Beck say
Beck
about
said
karate?
grappling is better than karate.
Yeah, so in turn she said karate sucks.
Yeah. Basically.
And that's how it's interpreted.
That's basically how it's interpreted. You're like,
Yeah.
I prefer if you say I prefer, they're like, oh, so fuck karate, huh? That's what you're saying? Yeah. I've literally heard that. But that is how people interpret it, though.
I'm
like,
sure they will.
Like I have said,
I'll get all sorts of people.
said,
I could
I've
kick your
performed
ass. I'm like,
jujitsu.
yeah, you probably could. Okay, have a good
Probably.
day.
Oh, you beat up the blind girl. Good job.
Yeah. Look, on that,
Run.
yeah, as much as I have nostalgia, and karate was what I needed it when I needed it, you know. It got me through high school. I had a kid test how much I could see by punching me in the face, and then I decided I wanted to, you know, learn to be a bit more.
So,
sorry?
my suggestion is to test how much that kid can breed and kick him in the balls. Just a suggestion. Here, go try it.
Cool. Find me a time machine and we can put that to the test.
Now, funny. Fuck.
But
you can't
I'll go kick him
drill
in the
that.
balls. I'll go kick him in the balls now. just tell me his name. I'll go kick him in the balls now, and then I'll be like, "That's for Beck." He'll be like, "Why?" I'll be like, "Because you're a cunt."
We're not
And
gonna
now
let,
you have a cunt.
we're not gonna let you guys drill that either.
Why?
Look, I know I'm all about drillers make killers, but groin shots, like.
Hey, I've been doing Krav Maga seminars. Like, I can knee someone in the balls effectively now. I could poke him in the eye, too.
Just one?
Level playing field.
Oh, look, you can't see either. I love that. Yeah. I do that in jiu-jitsu when I pull people's gis over their head, and I'm like, ha, you can't see either now. And then
I pull people's
gis
gis over their head by accident, and then it ends up pissing me off because it fucks up my grips. So I'm like, how am I supposed to collar choke you when your collar isn't around your neck?
Oh, I've rolled with a few people there. Like, as soon as you sunk one hand into their collar, their go-to was to grab their own gi and then put it over their head.
What?
That's an interesting one.
Because you can't get your hands in properly, so they turn it into a hoodie.
So just drop your elbow down on their neck and just, I don't know.
I'd move into the legs from there. I'm like, oh, if I can't strangle you, I'm gonna take your feet away.
Yeah. Fair.
Beavis and Butthead with the hoodie on over his head.
Yes. That's exactly what it was like. That was hilarious.
I'm not old enough for that show.
Beavis and Butthead, really?
I'm not that old. I heard of it, but I think it was dying out when I was born.
When did the movie come out?
Oh.
It must have been like 2000, 2001. Okay, yeah, Michelle was still like 6.
I wasn't even 10. I was like 5.
Oh, you would have been so cute. No.
No, I wasn't. I was kind of a little asshole. Like, if you can believe it, I was actually a mean kid.
I believe that. Yeah.
You're
I can probably see it.
Caring adult. I know. Like, hard to believe.
But you're a mean adult, so.
No, I'm actually, like, I'm a sweetheart. I know, so it's really hard to believe because I'm so nice now. But yeah, I was kind of a mean kid.
I don't think high school was good for anyone.
Ugh.
Change.
Or primary school, for that matter.
I can really taste the hemp in this rum.
No.
I didn't even know they put hemp in rum, but okay.
Look, I think it's just flavoring.
How does the Canadian not know that, huh? Like, you got weed rum, like, really?
No, it's hemp.
Disappointed.
It's not even fun. It really is.
That shit's for, like, rope and paper. Why are you drinking it?
It was a gift and it was open.
Free booze.
Oh, so you're doing a gift. Someone tries to be nice and give you a gift, and you're like, "This is fucking shit."
The person
like
that gave it to me.
I'm never gonna live that down.
Oh
Let's
no!
put it this way, though.
Fantastic.
if I trusted my
No.
karate,
No,
I
you're not.
wouldn't be
No,
here.
you're not.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't be doing BJJ. And you add the whole, what do you call it, hand-eye coordination to someone who's totally blind, unless I got attacked by a Christmas tree that was lit up. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to see anything coming.
We could make that into a horror movie. We could make the Christmas tree attack. We can make that happen. This weirder shit's been published out, you know.
I
But
watched the movie.
I really think that you're basically doing karate 2.0.
2.0. Aha.
It's South American ground karate. Is what it actually is. For all those fucking idiots that come up, oh, you train UFC and they're doing with their little hand karate shit and they're can you throw me? I'm like, I can. Because I do judo.
Fancy asking you.
But yeah, no, let me teach you some South American ground karate. Come over here. Fucking idiot, put you in a guillotine.
I've heard it called
Yeah,
AJ
Yeah, that's at
huddles
UFC,
before,
bruh.
but that's hilarious.
Guillotine.
Guillotine.
It's a guillotine. Well, you know what? You're gonna get thrown, and I'm gonna do my throw. Then I sink the guillotine in, and then we'll just see. When you're getting choked by it, we'll just see. You'll be gargling. You won't be able to argue. How about that?
Oh, that's okay. I'll just
Belt.
wake up and go, that was a good guillotine.
And then I'll do it again, and I'll just keep doing it until you're so brain damaged you can't pronounce guillotine or guillotine.
You guys have French Canada.
You'll
like,
be just
right
getting
next
wheeled
door.
out in a wheelchair, just drooling on yourself in your Depends. And they'll be like, what happened? You'll be like, your freaking jaw's gonna be dislocated.
Oh, then I won't be able to speak or pronounce guillotine. You guys have French. So the guillotine, the actual one, not our version, was a French invention. You guys have French Canada right next door.
Fuck with French? I'm not French. I know, actually I am. My grandmother's French. I don't fucking care what those Frenchies say. Shit, they eat frog legs too. I don't do that either.
Cool, now people won't be mad about me karate anymore.
No one likes Canadian French. Everyone's mad at Quebec. That's allowed.
Everyone loves George St. Pierre.
It's geek.
Ah, interesting segue. So,
And George
US
St. Pierre's like the exception.
yeah, right. He totally is.
I'm mad at him for leaving the UFC.
Is he?
I
Is he
want him
done?
to go back and fight Khabib, but he won't.
Oh
So I'm
God,
mad at
I'd
him
love
for-
to. I would love that to happen. That would be amazing.
Right.
Though,
They both retired. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because they could both still kick my ass, but they both retired, and I'm not happy about it. That's all I'm going to say.
so my training partner that just called before, his pole dancing instructor, one of the pole dancing instructors that
Hey!
was running the.
What?
I like
Oh,
it.
that's right. We didn't even mention that. Michelle's pole dancer. She hooked up with George St. Pierre when he was in Australia, and has photo evidence of it.
What?
Oh, cool.
Wait, like she
Yeah.
hooked up? Like she got the D, or she just met up?
So there's pictures of, I don't know if they slept together, but I know my training partner has seen pictures of her sitting on GSP's lap with their faces like, mashed together.
Oh, she fucking him. Okay. Okay, I mean, get it. Sure. Good for you. Everyone's got to get it somewhere. Good job. Props.
Speaking of George St. Pierre, UFC last week. I mean, like, how can we not? Beck, you didn't catch it, did you?
No, I heard little bits about it, but yeah, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah.
God.
I mean,
Can
like,
we
I think
talk
we need
about the
to.
booger hair first? Can we talk about the booger hair? Look, like, respect to the dude. I don't remember his name, but the guy that fought
Which?
Sugar Ray Sean O'Malley.
Oh,
Sugar Sean. Oh, he annoys me with his hair. Annoys me. Look, he can fight, but his hair annoys me. And
Yeah,
the guy who made his UFC debut. Look, respect, because like apparently he works like 80 hours a week, and he was still back to teach his jiu-jitsu class like Monday morning after that fight. So respect. But what the fuck is with the neon green hair?
Oh, that's right.
Like
He
a
had
booger
green
fighting
hair.
a gay robot in there. Jesus.
You see, you see, I
Imagine
thought
the comments.
when someone walking by the TV that I had it streaming on said, "Who's the guy with the green hair?" I'm like, "Oh, maybe Sean O'Malley has got green hair because he's Irish and Conor McGregor's headlining the card." So
Always got the
represent.
fucked up. Is he Irish? He's always got the fucked up hair.
O'Malley is Irish as hell, but yeah, no,
I
So his
thought it
opponent.
was just like from the cat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but yeah, the green hair that threw me off too. It was very green.
I didn't like it,
What
and
about?
like he put on a really good show. He's a very good fighter, but like
He
I
did
just
good.
can't with the green hair, man. I can't.
Did you agree? Did you agree with the stoppage? That last second TKO.
No. To me, I mean, look, there was like 30 seconds left in the fight, and I understand it is your job to protect the fighter. I get that, but I'm like, look, that kid held on like right to the bitter end, and you're gonna stop it now. Like, he was trying to defend himself, in my opinion. I'm not the ref. I don't know what the ref saw. Maybe they saw something I didn't see, but like, let him finish the fight. It's 30 seconds. I don't think he was taking that much damage.
That's true. I thought it was a bit premature. Rogan thought as well. It was Herb Dean. It's hard to question Herb Dean. He's such a good ref. But I don't know. Like, he'd taken
yes and
a
no.
lot of
He's
shots.
had some bad calls lately.
Which one? Are you thinking of the
Herb Dean?
Askren Lawler? Yeah.
I'm thinking of a few. Herb Dean has, and look, I love Herb Dean. He's like my favorite ref. I love him. But he has had some bad calls lately. He's had early stoppages. He's had late stoppages. I feel like he's slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
I got a cup this time. Don't say anything.
It's hard to question Herb Dean sometimes, because I mean, like, we're blind, and he's standing right next to these people, and he's got, like, Herb Dean's got like a record, like is what, 5-0 or something, I think, when he was fighting.
Yeah, okay. Herb Dean's got a good record, but almost every fighter that you're gonna see that gets a shot at the belt has taken some losses too. Or even if you want to look at Cowboy Cerrone, Conor McGregor, good fighters, but they're slipping, right? And again, it's not a knock on them as a fighter, because either one of those guys would kick my ass. But
I love Cowboy.
at that
I'm a massive Cowboy fan.
like, they're starting to fail.
Yeah, I love Cowboy. I'm a massive Cowboy fan.
I love Cowboy.
He just seems like, what's he, 39 now? 38, 39.
I thought he was like 42.
Oh.
Am I putting him up too high? I don't know. He's close to 40 either way.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's just under.
Just under?
But yeah, just under. But yeah, he's been doing it a long time, and I think he's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I agree. I think it might have been a bit early, that O'Malley stoppage. Who was the next fight? That was the 125.
So the booger and the robot fought, and then
robot. I think it was the girls, the flyweight girls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jessica. I got her freaking forehead split open in that prelims too.
Oh, that's right. Who was she up against?
Oof. I should know her name. Her name.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll let the guy dog out.
Okay.
No worries. We'll keep going.
Who was it? It was a
with
forehead
the
catch.
UFC. Was it a
So it wasn't
headbutt?
even
It was a
an elbow
headbutt.
or anything. It was like they had a forehead. They collided heads.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was a headbutt.
Yeah.
Oh, who was her opponent?
Let me see. Man, it's a week ago. I should remember this. UFC 262?
No, 264. Was it Lisa Murphy?
What is happening? It might have been. I don't know.
I think it was because she's got the title shot.
Okay, I have it here. It was.
We need a Jamie.
We do need a Jamie. Who's gonna be Beck? Beck should be Jamie. She knows. Okay, so the girls who fought on the main card. It's not giving me the prelims. Okay, forget the prelims. Sean O'Malley and his ugly hair. I hate that hair. That is my problem with him. He's a good fighter. I cannot stand what he does with his fucking hair. It was Irene Aldana, and it took it away from me, so I don't know the other girl.
Aldana and might have been Lisa. No, was it Lisa Murphy? I could just be making things up.
I don't even remember that fight, to be honest.
It was a close
Okay,
one. I think it was the
Yana
Kunitskaya. That's it.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, because she got TKO'd. No, or knocked out. TKO'd.
Oh, yeah, now I remember. Yeah. She did.
Yeah, she came out. Kunitskaya.
Yeah.
She came out really strong, but then got.
Yeah.
I think she got. Yeah, she got caught.
Surprised the hell out of everybody too, by the sounds of it. They were really
Oh, she took it to her. Yana took it to her in that first round, but then she. I think she like just got caught coming in too aggressively, from what I can remember.
Yeah, because it was just a pretty quick shot, just a little clip.
Yeah.
Well, not clipped or connected quite well, obviously, but yeah, it wasn't like a huge combo with a head kick, and it wasn't a Thug Rose kick. It was a clean punch. Took her out.
That's it. Yeah.
You had
and then it was the Greg Hardy
and
Tai Shuivasa.
Tuivasa. Yeah. Tuivasa won that one, didn't he?
He did. That the check hook, I think, was what put Hardy away. I was very surprised because Ty's from Australia, I suppose, kind of technically.
Okay.
He lives not too far from where I used to live before I moved to the beach, and he's not known for his cardio. Obviously, he's he cuts to make 265. Yeah,
Wow.
he's tall, quite a large Islander. And Hardy came out well, and ex-football player. Hardy's going to gas tanks very very good, and then it was, but yeah, Ty's he's predominantly a striker. So whenever we've seen him with a wrestler, he gets taken down. His takedown defense does need a lot of work. I'm not hating. I enjoy watching him fight, but like that's just the obvious thing that we can notice.
Yeah.
But it was the takedown. Hardy came in, he finished the combo and he shot, and then Tuivasa clipped him with that hook. And when he hits people, they wake up later on.
Yep. What happened?
And then he did a row of shoeies.
A what?
He did a row of shoeies after the Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I do not
Yeah.
understand that. What the? Okay, is that a thing in Australia?
It is actually a thing in Australia.
Why are you drinking booze out of fucking shoes? What? Who hurt you and what happened to make that a thing?
Awesome, I'm
I
back.
don't know.
And what does this got to do with jiu-jitsu? Oh well, I'll go with it.
We're just talking about the UFC
UFC.
card back. Yeah. So we covered the Sean O'Malley.
Like,
Sean
I'm
O'Malley
drinking
won with
my booze out of a glass like a civilized individual. Even though I'm really not, but I'm pretending to be, and I'm drinking out of a glass. I'm not drinking out of something that I stick my fucking sweaty foot in each day.
So the third
that's
fight
gonna
on the main.
Just rake in the boyfriends talking about the sweaty feet. Come here, fetish boys. God.
Don't worry, Michelle. Come down to Australia.
I have made bad decisions in my life.
People dig that down here. You know, just bring a spare pair, one for walking,
I don't
one
want
for
them to
shoeies.
dig that. That's gross. I don't like the feet. Ew.
So the third fight on
Look,
the main
if someone
card.
starts sucking on my toes, I'm gonna kick them in the face. That is a PSA. That is fair warning. If my toe goes in anyone's fucking mouth, believe me, you will wake up tomorrow in the hospital.
I have the funniest story about that, but I don't know if I should share it here on this podcast yet. I'll tell you guys.
I need to understand the shoey thing.
Okay. So Beck, we're just covering the UFC, and the third fight on the card was Tai Tuivasa he's from Sydney. He's a big Islander guy.
Oh,
He
cool.
knocked out Greg Hardy with a very nice placed left hook. And then Ty's thing after every fight is he does a shoey. And he gets on the mic and says, he goes, everyone get a beer and a shoe because I want to do a shoey with all of you. So the front row, like the front row closest to him, where he came out and was doing the Rogan interview, the camera had showed us, he did about 5 shoeys. People pulled up a beer and took a shoe off each.
Oh
and
my
he
God.
did at least about 5 shoes. But
what was just in it?
Yeah. But someone put hot sauce in one of their shoes, and I was not expecting that. Yeah.
What the hell?
Don't
Where did he get
do
the hot
that.
sauce from? Who the hell goes to the UFC and be like,
what the fuck are you? Okay, now hold on.
It's
now.
America. They
You're
put it on
not-
hot dogs and everything.
Well, yeah, I put hot sauce on everything too. I mean, that's just a whole North America thing, I think. But you're caught by the hot sauce and not the fact that this man just went and a bunch of strangers
Keep talking,
took
guys.
a fucking shoe off their foot and then he put it in his mouth.
yeah, okay.
Like
that
that's
still
what
was
I'm
the
caught
first
up
thing
on.
that I thought of, yes. Was where did the hot sauce come from? I don't think my brain works like everybody else's.
Put someone's foot in your mouth come from? I don't understand.
That's pretty
why.
gross.
Like if I just take my shoe off right now and go, hey, drink out of this. Like if I try doing that here, someone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like I'm going to a mental institute.
I
Like,
can't imagine it would be very good.
They are gonna call the cop.
But it's not even like really waterproof, is it? I mean, it would
Alright.
hold the drink. It would just leak
I don't know
out.
what it is, but I know that
And
someone's
make it
got
taste
their
bad.
stank ass foot inside of it, and they probably have
And it'd
fucking
wreck your
athlete
shoes.
foot, and you don't know. Like I don't know what. All I know is you got your stank ass foot in this thing, and you're expecting me to put that on my mouth, like, girl. No. Look, I'll do some weird shit, but putting your shoe in my mouth, that ain't happening.
Yeah, I can't say a shoey would be for
And
me
I've had a
either.
lot of like with jujitsu, training jujitsu. I mean, look, believe me, I have probably had blood, sweat, and tears literally in my mouth. I am not putting your shoe in my mouth.
4:25 p.m. 2 notifications.
Oh, I don't know
Using
where
gum
it
boots.
started. One person did. There's an Aussie comedian called Frenchie, and his thing again, he's doing shoeies after every show, and someone
God.
brought him a gum boot to do shoeies at.
Well, at least you wouldn't lose the booze, but gross. But gross. Ugh. How did
Are
we
you
get
guys
here?
the ones that invented drinking milk? Like, did you just like see a tit hanging off of an animal and go, "Yeah, I'm thirsty. I'll suck on that"?
No.
No, we did invent Vegemite though, and apparently that was like leaking out the corner of a barrel of beer.
Try again.
I need to know what happened
26 p.m.
to make you this way.
Phone, 10 minutes ago. Eugenesis over.
With all due respect,
Sunday,
there's
the
a lot of
18th of
things
July.
about Australia that I really like, but the shoey ain't one of them.
I don't know many people that do enjoy the
Like-
shoey,
I
truthfully.
feel like you've been abused by somebody, had a sick joke pulled on you by somebody.
All right. Well, who was the next fight after
Main
after
event.
that? Co-main. Who was co-main?
No, that was the co-main. The main event.
That was the co-main?
That was the co-main.
1, 2, 3. Are you sure? No, because it was 3 rounds.
It was, or no, Gilbert Burns. That's what I'm thinking. I just looked at Gilbert Burns and Wonder Boy was the co-main.
That's it.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
How did that go? Gilbert Burns won that one, didn't he? Yeah, that went to a
Yes,
decision.
he did. By decision.
That's okay.
I don't
There's
know how-
not much.
Not much to say about that.
No, that wasn't bad. Yeah. Yeah. The main event was much more interesting. Let's talk about that.
Do we want the main event or the main event?
Well, it didn't last a round, so
Oh no, it lasted a round. It did make it a round, and then somebody broke their leg and started hollering like a fucking bitch in a maternity ward without painkillers. That's not over. Sweetie, when you're sitting on the floor, it's over. If you can't stand, it's over. Now I know that McGregor could kick my ass, but I also know that'd be the fucking day that I'm sitting on the floor with my leg broken. It's not over. I'm gonna stop. You're dead. I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah. Talk to me when you can walk. Okay? You're running your mouth, but you ain't running much else. Sit the fuck down.
he doesn't need to walk. He's worth over $100 million. I'm sure he's got people to walk for him.
Damn.
Though Justin had a
say it. I can't. The
fantastic
whiskey wants
showing.
me to say it, but I'm not going to say it. But the whiskey wants me to, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh gosh. Though Justin had a fantastic showing in that one.
Can I say it? I'm not going to say it.
Oh, come on. Just say it.
You need the macro investments when you got a micro penis.
Okay. We went there. Oh dear.
You told me to.
I didn't. He did.
Yep.
You didn't stop
That's
it.
true. I encourage the bad behavior. That's okay. Hey, if Conor McGregor sees it, even better.
If he sees it, you know what? If he sees it, fucking prove me wrong. Your personality does not count as having a big cock. All I'm saying.
Oh, you know what?
I just look.
I'm glad.
He could beat the shit out of a lot of people, and he had a great run. He's a household name for a reason. But you know what? That fucking mouth. It's not funny. It's not cute. Yeah, it might get you attention, but like, I'm so tired of. Any publicity is good publicity. No, it ain't. You know how many people don't like this guy? Like there's so many people that people tune in because they want to see him get his ass beat because he runs his mouth, and that's great revenue for the UFC. But for you as a person, look, the day that I'm going into a competition and there's a crowd, oh man, I hope someone really fucks her up. I can't stand her. I'm gonna stop fighting. Like, Seriously. Micro penis.
I'm glad that you're the one who came up with that, because if that was me, I think I'd get blasted for it online.
I just feel
But
like if you
it's-
have to be that loud, you're compensating for something.
God, can you imagine
So
the comment section? It's
That's the loudest
episode
person on the
1,
call. Like,
and we've already pissed
no,
off.
and okay, it's
so
fair.
many
Look,
Everybody.
it is fair. Okay,
Everybody.
I'm the loudest person on the call. I can say that because I'm the loudest person on the call, and I, in fact, do have probably the smallest penis in the history of penises. I don't even have one. That's how small it is. So I'm justified in my
So,
assumption.
so Michelle's managed to piss off the entire country of Ireland, Boston, or Massachusetts, sorry, whatever one it is.
I don't know what it is. What?
And we're
Isn't
New
he
York.
Irish? What the fuck is Boston mad at me for? Because they lost
There
to
is a-
khakis?
No, there's a massive
There you
Irish
go.
community in Boston, so
So? I like their whiskey. My grandmother says I'm part Irish. I just don't like McGregor. Big mouth, little dick.
I don't like
That's all I'm
McGregor's
saying.
whiskey.
I've never drank his whiskey and I never will.
it's like if
That's
you
not to say I would if it was good. I would if it was good. But he irritates me, so I don't want to give him money.
it's not too bad. It's like if you have Jameson, but you put a lot of water in
So it's piss.
it. Oh.
Dig
And it-
up.
And dig up.
What?
This is great. Hopefully someone retweets it.
Bunch of blind moronic people talk about everything else but jiu-jitsu.
We talked about jujitsu.
We talked about a lot of jiu-jitsu.
Actually, we have, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Michelle's the one that's
In
hanging shit on
amongst of a
poor
bunch
Conor-
of tangents.
on
What do you
poor
mean,
broken
Michelle?
leg
So you
Conor
wanted to
McGregor.
talk about UFC, and then you brought up the main event. And all I'm saying is, look, if you broke your leg and you couldn't fight, that's one thing. That's fine. You broke your leg and you couldn't fight. He showed a lot of humility after getting fucking worked and mauled and destroyed by Khabib, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And then he beat Cowboy, and he went and like thanked Cowboy's grandma, and oh, he did so good. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's not a royal cunt. Maybe he's actually got a little bit of humility. Maybe getting his ass kicked, like, you know, maybe that shuffled his brain around a little bit so the fucking thing started working. But no, he's a cunt again. Like, and this is why I say macro penis. Like, it's inverted. He's got an innie. He went probably sucked up by that big mouth of his. That's how irritated I am.
And on that note,
I don't
before
respect that behavior.
before the entire country of Ireland. Now, I love Ireland. It's one of my most favorite places to go.
Well, I'm not going to
But
go there now. I would like
but
to
I
have
don't
gone and
know.
visited, but I'm not going to go now.
Yeah, but now I don't know because of Michelle if I'm welcome back. So, should we call it?
Well, I don't think we should end it on that note.
No,
Oh,
I
that's
think
a
we need
great
to.
note to end it on.
I do have
That's good.
something.
I think we should keep it there. We'll end it, and so if anybody wants to get
Look,
in touch with us,
don't you dare give my contact information.
Oh my!
Look, I'm
I
not
don't know your contact
saying
information.
anything on McGregor. I am saying McGregor specifically, but I'm saying that behavior is unbecoming of any athlete. Like, that looks bad on you, on your team, and on the organization. For any athlete, for any fighter. I would probably be kicked off my team if I behaved in that way.
That is very true.
Mm.
Even in that post fight interview, I couldn't really understand what he was saying. He was very riled up
Oh, he was
and
just
doing the
screaming.
whole. Yeah, pretty much. That wasn't the behavior that we saw from Dustin. It wasn't, the same behavior that you tend to attribute with a lot of professional athletes that are in that kind of limelight. But I guess he has built his brand on
I
it.
will
and
say, yeah, but what a fucking. I will say, in Connor's defense, that should have been a doctor stoppage. That should have been a medical stoppage.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think they called it, what did they call it, as a TKO? So
Did they
also,
classify it as a
don't right
TKO?
call,
I did.
because it wasn't. They did, I think. I think they did classify it as a TKO. I know they did not
That's
call
right.
it a medical stoppage. And I mean, okay, fair enough. Yeah, his leg was broken, but his leg wasn't broken. Like, the round ended with them throwing punches at each other. Connor steps back on the leg, and you see it buckle.
Yeah, it wasn't a Chris Weidman break.
Like, it wasn't something. Oh, it was the bell
it was
rings.
a medical issue.
He's throwing this punch, bell rings, he steps back and crack, and he falls. And it should have been a medical stoppage.
I agree completely. Yeah, it should have. Yeah, because it wasn't a knockout. It wasn't a technical knockout. It wasn't he's not defending himself. There wasn't 3 unanswered strikes. It was a medical issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, with that, I would have been pissed off too. If I had been in that position and someone said, oh yeah, Michelle got knocked out or submitted her, look, I would have been pissed off too. But the fuck I did? I broke my leg. What are you talking about? What fight are you watching? But I stand by my point. You do not behave in that way.
That is true. There is something to say about for being humble.
Well, it goes back to the self-control point, right? Like, I mean, someone puts their hands on you and you disengage from the situation. Like, if I had put that guy on the floor in Mexico and I had decided I'm not walking away, and I started kicking him in the face, kicking him in the nuts, throwing elbows at him, stomping on him, breaking his ribs. Do you need to behave like that? Like, didn't you make your point? It's a self-control issue, whether that's the word vomit that's coming out of your mouth at the end of a fight like that, or your physical actions. You need to have more self-control. You should not be, and I mean, in a situation like they just been losing their mind on the media's been going off about this chick from America, and she was in the Olympics, and she protested the flag. She raised up her fist or something like that, turned her back on the flag or something like that. So the media's been going off about this, and oh, how disrespectful. Don't represent the country if you don't want to. And yeah, fair enough. Like, I have agreed to represent Canada and put the Canadian back patch on my gi and the little symbol on the front of. If I'm going to represent the country, I'm not going to look too good if I'm talking shit on our government and, oh, this place sucks and it's awful and it's terrible and it's rah rah rah, turning my back on the flag, stuff like that. Well, don't represent your country if you feel that way then. So the media is raising hell about her doing this. That being said, UFC is a huge promotion. It is internationally recognized. They go all over the world, and these fighters come out carrying their flags. McGregor does it all the time. So to behave in that way, it looks bad on you. It looks bad on your coaches. It looks bad on your team. But then you're also, you come out carrying your flag saying, oh, I represent this country. So, okay. So if I'm an idiot who who knows nothing about the world, is that what Ireland is about? Sitting on the floor, fucking screaming, carrying on? Like, I know they're not, but you see what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't. You're representing a country and an organization. Don't do that.
That's true. It is definitely a large misrepresentation. I mean, I've been to Ireland. They have such lovely people.
Yeah.
I'd live there if it was feasible for me to. But yeah, like when you're it's almost like how GSP is for Canada.
Right.
He's almost like the face of it. He's one of the, like, either the only or like one of the two or three, like, born from Ireland,
Yeah.
fighters in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I get it, losing sucks. Like, I've lost so many tournaments and matches, not comparable to losing a UFC fight, but
No.
like, we're not, jumping up and down and, swearing and carrying on
Well,
after a jiu-jitsu match, like,
No.
to our opponent. So yeah, I can definitely see, what you see. Like, in that he's representing lots. He's representing Kavanaugh's gym. He's representing the country that he comes from. He's representing his sponsors. He has a brand
Yeah.
as well.
Like,
And
you
it
really
doesn't.
gotta think about all of that.
Yeah, and Connor's a father as well. Like, I don't know if he gave
Yeah, if
much
my
consideration.
dad acted like that, oh my God. If I saw my father acting like that,
Yeah.
Man. Oof. I mean, I'm already on the pole, so sorry, Dad, but I mean,
Wow.
I'm just saying, if I saw my dad working like that, I'm not gonna respect you. You screaming and carrying on like that. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna say to me? What are you gonna say to me? If I'm the teenager and I'm getting mad at you, right? Fuck you, you fucking rah, 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 rah. Hey, don't talk to me. Oh, really, Dad? Hey, what's this, Dad? What's this on Fight Pass, Dad? You screaming like a little bitch? What do you want to say to me now? Like, it just, yeah, again, I'm an asshole. But a lot of teenagers are little assholes, so they're probably gonna do that. Like, but no, you got to really think when you're in that position. And I mean, again, I'm not in the UFC, I'm not whatever, but even for myself, signing on to represent the Canadian team for, Paralympics and try to go to these qualifiers, I have to behave a certain way. And I have to be aware of, what I'm saying. Like, I'm representing my judo club, my MMA club, the national team, the country, myself, my coaches, my training partners. I have my own little side business that I run. Like, what are people going to say if I'm acting a fool, if I'm pulling a bunch of bullshit on camera at these competitions? Like, it's not going to go over well for me.
That's true. People, excuse me, people are drawn to, like, confidence, but they're not drawn to vulgarity.
No. It's why, like, I love Khabib, I love Amanda Nunes, because those are two very skilled, very confident fighters. They put on the one hell of a performance, but they do it gracefully. You don't see them acting a fool at the end of their matches. I mean, Khabib jumped the fence that one time with McGregor. Shit.
But do remember what was said by
I
Dylan
remember
Dennis
very clearly what
as
was
well.
said, and I do not fault him in the least for that.
Yeah, very disrespectful.
Yeah.
But again, seeing the humility. Um, I want to include this fighter as well, just because I just joined her fan page. Valentina Shevchenko,
Mm,
very respectful.
yeah.
Maybe a James Bond secret agent. We don't know.
Possibly.
Speculation.
Possibly a robot. She is undefeated. I think she may be genetically engineered.
Android.
Oh no, she's got 2 losses to Amanda Nunes.
I stand by. Look, Amanda Nunes is fucking. I would love to train with her.
It'll be amazing.
I do not want to spar that woman. Look, most of the time I'll be like, yeah, I would love to spar. No. I would love to train, but I want to live. And I know she would have control. No, I know she would have control, but I'm fucking scared for my life. Regardless. I feel like if she tapped me, I would die. I feel like she would just tap me with a jab, and I would probably die.
She'd kick my ass.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like we're talking.
That is one of the women where I've said, yeah, don't strike. If you're a woman and a guy goes to punch you, she's one of the women where, like, I would be scared if I was a man. She fucking hits hard.
So hard. I mean, we're talking about a super talented, super dedicated athlete with a fantastic mindset. Black belt in jiu-jitsu. That was her background, I think. She is a natural 135, but it seems like she's moved up a weight class just because she needed more of a challenge.
At 145.
Yeah, she
does look good at 145, and I think it's less of a cut because I don't know what her actual walk around weight is, but there's been speculation with like some of my training partners that her walk around weight would be about the same as me or a little heavier, like in that like 150 to 160, like that 70 to 75 kilo range. We don't know, but that's kind of the speculation to cut down to the weight that she cuts down to. Because I know for me at 145, I'm good. I could make 135 if I was getting paid what the UFC fighters are getting paid. I could make 135. Not doing it currently.
You could water cut down to 135 probably.
I could because I kind of walk around close to 150 and then I weigh in for my competitions at about 145 because that's kind of my no-gi jiu-jitsu competition weight is 147. So like that's the max for that weight class is 147. So I kind of that 145 146 range, that's where I kind of get to, and that's not really a cut. That's just like, okay, clean up the eating, exercise a little bit more, good. So if I had like water cut or something, I could make 135. I don't want to. I don't like weight cutting. It's not. I don't like weight cutting.
Weight cutting is
not comfortable.
Not fun at all. And we've all done it.
And it's been. I've tried to solidarity with some of my teammates, and I made 65 kilos, and that was it.
So back onto the Valentina. I really love Valentina Shevchenko. She's probably maybe one of my most favorite fighters. Not even, no differentiation between male or female, just in general. And her last title defense, she gave her thanks speech in English, then in Portuguese, and then in Spanish.
Wow, multilingual. That's awesome.
Oh, she speaks like 6 languages. Super talented, super humble. Like, you don't see her talking too much smack or much at all.
Robot.
Robot.
Android.
She doesn't need to look. How much smack do you need to talk when you're like that? That's the other thing too, right? Is again, McGregor, you saw him get more humble. And I liked that McGregor. I did, because I'm just you know
it
what?
looks...
He's more humble. He's doing good. Like, okay, now I can. You're a good fighter, and you're not running your mouth. Now I can say, yeah, I actually, you know what? Yep, I want to see that guy fight because he's not being an asshole. But it's when you're being an asshole. But you see, like Nunes, right? How much shit does she talk? Shevchenko, how much shit does she talk? Even really Khabib. He doesn't talk a lot of shit. Like he says some crazy shit like I want to change his face. But I mean, he doesn't talk a whole lot of shit. Like the ones that are really at the top of their game, you know?
The one time we did see Khabib get rolled up and engage in that sort of smack talk was with Conor.
That was fair.
When he was pushed, when like, you know, like some things was like,
well, when you go and attack a man
negatively towards him
and family and like,
so it's a hard thing, and he still composed himself fairly well, and
he did.
I think he did most of his smack talking in the fight. I don't know how like disconcerting or horrible that must be, having some dude grapevine and sit, you know, on your butterfly guard and start punching you in the face, going, talk now. What do you have to say now?
Man, I was just dying laughing. You want to talk? Boom! Let's talk! Boom! Talk now! Boom! I'm like, yes! Like, oh my god. Even when he's walking over the other side of the cage, let's talk! Let's talk! Oh my god,
we
god, you're gonna die.
We even see the flip side from Khabib in the Michael Brown fight, where like from like maybe, you know, just a casual viewer or just someone who's kind of not really paying too much attention, he was yelling at Michael Brown, but I think it was coming from like a place of like good intentions. He's like, you know, he's like, why are you making me smash your face? Just quit now. I deserve title shot, and he did. He deserved the title shot 100%. And it just it seems like he doesn't want to beat Michael Brown's face in, but it's just what has to happen.
Like, he's a very talented fighter, but as far as being a violent man, a malicious man, a mean man, I don't think he, like, look, when you know you're good, when you know you're better than somebody, and I don't even mean that in a, like, I mean, if I go into a competition, there's certain people, like, because I compete locally a lot, and there's certain people, I know how hard I have to go against people, and sometimes I have a few opponents who are belt levels above me, weight classes above me. I have to fight them hard. And then there are other people that I'm like, I don't want to hurt you. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, if you want to compete, let's compete. But I mean, there are sometimes, like, I've seen people drop out because they have not wanted to go against who is signed up, whether that's me or someone else. They're just like, no. And that's fair. That's fine. It's disappointing. But at the same time, I don't want to go into a competition and just beat the shit out of somebody. Like, there's got to be a level of enjoyment, and there's got to be a level of challenge. And I'm not saying this to knock anybody. I just mean, like, that'd be like, you know, Andre, are you going to go and compete against Beck and then celebrate? Oh, yeah, I fucked up that white belt. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, well, you probably would, but you're an asshole.
Oh yeah,
but,
100%. Look, if
you know what I mean?
if she foot sweats me, if she foot sweat me or sort of guard me, like at the beginning, it'll just be a world of destruction.
When she gets her green belt, and I'm going to work with her on a couple of things, like even if that's virtually, but I'm going to work with her when she gets her green belt. Be like, yeah, so now you're allowed to do. So here's what, like, these throws and how they connect into these submissions. So it's just going to be boom, boom, boom. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? It's going to be takedown, pin, submit. Awesome. And you are going to just be like, what happened? But I mean, if you're actually going against someone, like, any one of the guys, when I go into a Muay Thai class and we go sparring, these guys could fuck me up. They're men, they're strong, they can see. They can fuck me up. They don't. You know, because they don't want to. You know, if I was coming at them hard, like if I was really like swinging with everything I got and really trying to be a bitch about it, that might be a different story. But I'm going to get the same thing. But Michelle, why are you making me do this to you? Right? Like, you know, I think he is a very good competitor. Khabib's a very good competitor. He's a very skilled competitor, but he knows that he's that good. So like, if someone's just really getting fucked up and the ref is not stopping it, I can kind of see where at a certain point he would be like, why are you making me do this to you? Like, we all know the consequences of combat sports. We've all been punched. We've all been kicked. We've all been choked and armbarred. And it can be pretty, you know, if someone's doing it with bad intentions, trying to win a UFC belt or something, or money, or there can be some pretty long-lasting damage. You don't necessarily want to do that to somebody if you don't have to. Like, tap out.
Look, now that medical testing and everything has gotten a lot better, and you know, like the doctors and the medical professionals are a lot more aware and have a better understanding of what this sport's about, that there have been, you know, proven that there's been some nasty effects. Like look at the prevalence of CTE, but it's not just MMA. It's boxing, you know, where you can only hit to the head or hit to the body.
Yeah.
Two places, limited options. No wonder why people are going crazy. And I mean, I've come across some people like here in Australia that have fought in the UFC or just fought locally, and they do show signs and symptoms of classical CTE, and it's unfortunate because you know, they're not even 50.
Yeah. No, it's, and I love sparring. I love sparring. And I mean, like, am I going to be a pro MMA fighter or a Muay Thai competitor? No, never. It's not going to happen. I still like to spar, but the difference is I'm not getting my bell rung round after round after round like that. I'm eating some shots, sure, but we're not, you know, trying to take each other's heads off.
Yeah, and that's like the main point, because so many people, so many places still spar like it's like 1993.
I don't remember that year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's when you were born.
Oh, the baby.
Damn.
I keep forgetting.
Making us feel old.
I am 2 months older than the UFC.
My sister is older than you, Michelle, by 2 months.
Well, tell her happy belated birthday for me.
Even in jiu-jitsu, like tournaments, you know, people, not everyone goes in the intention with, you know, oh, to win I have to injure my opponent.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to injure you. I try to hurt you, sure, because I want it to hurt so that you're going to give me something. Like, if you're not feeling some level of pain or discomfort, you're not going to move or react in a way that lets me, you know, capitalize on it. You're just going to keep your elbows tucked in tight and your chin down, and I'm not going to get the choke or the armbar or the nothing. So I got to make you move. But I don't even break your arm. Like,
that's right. You know, it's not ADCC, but again, we do run into that situation where, you know, we're not out to hurt people, but also people don't want to accept the fact that they might be caught in a compromising situation. It's happened to me. my time I was in a
Me too.
2017.
Mm.
I had a semi-final match in what was it? It was a sub-only tournament against my friend Kel Loxardi from Grappling Education. Shout out Kel, he's a legend. Maybe like towards the end of the match, he caught me in a heel hook, and I just come back from training at Henzo's with John Danaher and all them. And I'm just like, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's all good. And like my knee line was clear. I got greedy. I looked at a toe hold and I went to explode into it, and he spun and took my ankle for a spin. During the roll through,
no.
as I extended my leg to avoid the ligament damage, it went crack, 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 crack,
Oh.
and I'm like tap, and I'm like, then I came out of the roll. I'm like, actually, I could keep going. Oh wait, no, I said tap. Yeah, no, that's good. I just preserved myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, while I was out for a couple, 2 weeks, couldn't train properly. I took no damage in any other joint or ligament besides my ankle.
Thank God. Jeez.
Mm.
I had it go the other way around. I remember, and this was a judo competition, but judo's got a groundwork only portion called newaza. So everyone get mad at me when I say this, but I'm gonna say it. It's jujitsu light. It's jujitsu light. Because look, so the whole thing, you start from your knees, you get your grips, you try to pin someone, you're allowed like arm locks and chokeholds. That's it. Assuming you're at a belt level that's allowed to do that. So I was, like, when I went into this competition, I had my green belt. You're allowed like arm bars, rear naked chokes, basic, like week 1 white belt stuff in a jiu-jitsu class, right? You're allowed that. So I said, okay, I've got like 2 blue belts and another green belt that I'm going to be competing against. So I go up, my first opponent is this green belt girl, and we're standing there, and so we're the same belt level and everything, but keep in mind, I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu on the ground. So we're waiting there, and I look, and like her left arm, I think, it doesn't matter, she's wearing her gi, and I can see that her hand is kind of wrapped up. Like it was like she had like it looked like almost like a fingerless glove. So like none of her fingers, none of her thumb was in it, but she had this something wrapped around her hand. And I said, is your hand? Oh yeah, it's just my wrist. I'm like, oh, okay, well, like I'll try to, avoid the arm bars and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. But I'm thinking, if I go and, grab you for a kimura or something like that and your wrist is hurt, like that's going to hurt even worse. Right. So I'm trying to be nice and not touch this girl's arm. So we start our match, and she keeps, because judo, rolling to her stomach and trying to not get pinned. Now it was a different kind of judo. So I'm getting points for taking her back and all of this kind of stuff. Right. So I'm still getting my points for taking her back, but it's me. I want the submission. So I'm trying to sink in a choke, and she like rolls to her side, which is smart. Normally it sunk the choke in a little bit more, but she rolls to her side, and I'm still trying to fish for the choke. And I know like we're running out of time, and I hear my coach in the background, armbar, Michelle, armbar. And this girl with her injured arm, she has her hand like flat on my chest, and her arm is fully extended, pushing me away. Hand flat on my chest, arm fully extended. And I'm looking at them going, because I don't want to be an ass. But like, you're giving me the arm bar, and you came in here with your arm already screwed up. Like, you knew that your arm was injured and you had a competition. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. And I just grabbed her gi. I didn't even grab her wrist. Like, this is how I was trying to be nice. I'm like, okay, well, her wrist is screwed up. So I'm just going to grab the gi, and I'll hold the sleeve of the gi, and I'll finish the armbar. Like, she's not that good on the ground. She's not going to get away. It's fine. So I go, and she's on her side. I swing my legs over for this armbar. I start to extend her arm, pull her arm back. She gets up on her knees. Her arm is fully extended and fully locked in, and she starts to roll forward as I'm pushing her back with my legs.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Come to find out, not only did she really hyperextend her arm, it was not her wrist that was injured, it was her whole arm. So once this happened, and there's video of it, you see her like, her arm is fully stretched out to the side. She rolls forward and I am pulling her arm back and I push her face back with my legs. And she like, I right away realized what had happened. And like, I let go of it and the ref stopped the match, but like she grabs her arm, hugs it to her chest and just collapses face first on the mat. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go over to check if she's okay. And the ref is kind of standing there. So I called the ref over. I'm like, hey, because she's just like turtled up on the mat, hugging her arm to her chest. He calls the medical over. I don't know what happened, but I ended up being the only one able to stand on the podium and accept the medal at the end of that division.
Did you break other people's arms that
I was
day?
thinking, what happened to the
I
other blue
didn't
belts?
know, but I didn't break
Yeah.
my arm. But so what had happened was, so there was one of my friends, and she didn't get a medal at all, but I beat her on points. She was about to get her brown belt in judo, I believe. And then there was another girl who, now I didn't know, but so she came into the same division and she was a belt level above me, and she kept rolling to her stomach because judo, not very smart on the self-defense. Rolling to the stomach, guys. That's a bad move. But so she rolls to her stomach, and I'm like, okay. So I put her in a rear naked choke. I grapevined her legs, and basically I turned her body into a U shape. So I lifted her throat up in the chokehold, and I lifted her legs up with my legs, and I slammed my hips into the floor to like crush her, and just.
And now she's dead. Now Michelle actually fought a girl.
And she was
Now
trying
she's
to
dead.
tap up. No, well, I haven't seen her, but I
Poor
cannot confirm
girl.
that. I cannot confirm her vitality status. But so basically, I turned her into like a U shape, and she had her arms like trapped to her chest. I forget how, but like her arms were just crushed to her chest, so she couldn't use her hands to tap. And she was trying to kick her feet to tap, but I had her feet lifted up in the air too. So she was just kind of flailing for a minute. And then she was able to tap. But so what happened was that so she had a bad back. And I didn't know she had a bad back. And then I bent it the wrong way with like my entire body. And so she didn't
Before or after your match, Michelle? Because after the match, she definitely had a bad back.
So she had a bad back before the match, and then during the match, I bent it the wrong way with like my entire body, and then I was on the podium by myself.
Whoops.
I felt bad.
And
Guys.
lonely.
Well,
just imagine
no,
her on the
not
podium
really.
all by herself.
Yeah.
That I kind of felt proud, but I felt bad. This is the same girl that I fought her in stand-up after, and she fucked up her throw, or I blocked her throw or something, and we both landed on the ground, and then I just grabbed her and like dragged her to me, and she literally goes, "Fuck!"
You
like,
savage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it made me really happy. But it was after all that. Then I'm like, respect, because like you got a bad back, and then I like crank you around like that, and then you still come and fight me again. Like, respect. But also, she was probably thinking that she was going to be able to throw me, and then when it ended up going to the ground, and she just yelled. And then I pinned her, and she fought for like a minute, not even, she fought for like a couple of seconds. She was like flailing around, and then she just went like limp. Like legit, like her legs straight, hands at the sides, just limp. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I thought she was dead for a minute. I'm like, she just
Yeah, so that's when
fighting.
she
And I'm
died.
like, what? So I'm looking at my, huh? And then I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at the ref, and then I'm back at her in the back of the ref, and I lift my hip off her face because I was in like a north-south position, and I was cranking her head to the side. Fuck, did I just snap her neck? Like, I was like scared that I had killed her because she just went like out of nowhere, just bang, like limp. I was like, oh God, I paralyzed her or I killed her or something. And like she was fine. She wasn't paralyzed and she wasn't dead. She just had no will to fight. And I kind of felt bad, but like that was actually kind of, I mean, no one's done that before. She just gave up, so that was kind of cool. You know?
So not only did you break a girl's arm, you broke a girl's will.
Yes. Yes. In one afternoon.
Thank God there's like a huge ocean between me and Michelle.
Yeah. There was
Not if you do Paralympic judo, there's not.
I'm not leaving local comps after hearing that.
oh yeah, that's right. They'll fly you
No,
over.
that was a
there.
local comp. Yeah.
With you in it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
2018, we had a local competition here, just along the beaches, and like coming into the top. So Michelle, do you remember that finals match that I sent you recently of mine?
Yes, yeah, I do.
Yeah, that was
The one where you didn't pull guard.
Yes.
You.
Remind me. Monogenic is over.
I did not.
Remind me. Monogenic is over.
One sec. Keep talking, guys. Hey.
Beck, why won't you do Paralympic judo with me?
Because I'm like 34, and if I'm Australia's best chance, I think Australia
Yeah.
judo is screwed.
Well,
Oh
you
God, I
you
gotta
guys
edit
just
that.
sent a 46-year-old. No, you guys just sent a 46-year-old to the UK.
Unless there's anything.
There was a
He's
46.
more than
Like a couple signers later.
How'd he do?
a decade over.
Yeah, that sounds promising.
He was a really
Good on
nice
him for
guy.
being there.
No, he was a really nice guy. And
Like,
when he showed up, he didn't even have a coach with him. So, like, he definitely had some spirit.
Wow, you gotta have some spirit to go and do that. Oh, you know what I feel like doing? Going to the Paralympic qualifiers all by myself.
Okay.
Wow.
Then I can either
Yeah?
just have the.
I mean, that
socks
takes
with
balls.
you, or
God, I'd never find my
It
way out of
does.
the airport.
Oh hell, I don't know how he did that. Like, I would have been lost.
no problem.
I'd end up in like Germany or
Yeah.
something. Or
I think.
wherever the transfer flight, I'd miss it.
Beautiful. All right, see you.
Well, I think that they're pretty good. Like, if you ask for assistance through the airports, you're pretty well taken care of. Especially over there, the Germans are really helpful. Okay, so we've established I'm safe in Germany, just not in Ireland. Fuck, I had to piss off the ones that get drunk off whiskey and not the ones that get drunk off beer, man. Yeah, they're gonna be more violent with me. That's worse. Okay, I'm just gonna say the fuck. I'm part Irish. It should be okay.
You'll be fine.
My grandmother said, like, she did a DNA test and everything, and I'm like 15% maybe.
Cool.
So, I mean,
You'll
give me
be
some-
okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I
about
only
that,
shit
guys.
talked McGregor. Like, I only shit talked one of them. And I'm drinking whiskey, which I'm pretty sure is Irish. So, like, fucking slack cut.
Might be
Thank you.
Scottish
Unless
Irish. Scottish whiskey.
Unless it's
It's
Scotch whiskey, then
Wisers.
it's Scottish.
Well, it's what?
That could be a Scottish brand.
Special blend. I can't read this. Canadian rye.
No, then it's Canadian whiskey.
Oh, it's Canadian.
Yeah.
Well, for fuck's sakes. I don't care.
Yeah.
Ireland, don't hang me, okay? McGregor's a dick and we all know it.
Yep. So sorry. Maybe we could just edit that little bit out where I just disappeared. Yeah. So the point that I was actually making. So that tournament, as we were going in, me and a few people had noticed that there was this one guy. Now I don't know the guy's name, thankfully, because I would name and shame. He was being very verbally abusive, like to his girlfriend in the car park. Like she had her back up against a car. He was getting in her face. He was yelling at her. We don't know why. Horrible. Like don't act like that. It's just unforgivable.
Mm-hmm.
And then his first match, he comes up against one of our blue belts from where I train, and he it was either a lat drop or a suplex, and he dropped the guy. The guy landed on his shoulder and dislocated it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had to be carried out. Now we had the medical team there. They put him on the, I know, what's that thing? Like the green whistle thing? Like, or
What?
whatever. It was like the morphine thing that the stick that you suck on.
The thing that you suck on?
Yeah. For
Green
the
whistle.
morphine,
Oh,
but yeah.
I've
The
always,
ambulance carry.
I've always had morphine delivered through an IV. I don't know what doctor had you suck in what, but I think you were taken to a less than reputable hospital.
Well, thankfully it wasn't me, and it's what the ambulance guys carry on them. Well, they do here in Australia at least. So
Yeah, a lot of
they
guys
gave him.
carry it on them.
Oh,
You reach in their
ouch.
pocket, you can feel it. I'll need to be careful.
Ouch.
I think we should
No,
end this
you're okay.
podcast before we piss off anyone else.
Yeah, right. So I'll just finish my story. Yeah, so
Oh.
he dislocated his shoulder, ended up on the morphine stick, and had to get carted away to like the actual hospital. So it was like, oh, dude, maybe don't be such a dick. And then because we found out later that the guy from my club, we're like, so what happened with that takedown? He goes, I saw him yelling at his girlfriend in the car park beforehand, and I said to myself, well, if I come up against him in the tournament, I'm going to slam him really hard. So we slammed him really hard.
Yeah. That's fair.
So karma.
It's also why he had to suck on the morphine is also karma.
True. All right. Should we call it and hit the stop button?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Let me do the disclaimer. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our first episode of the Eyes Free BJJ podcast. If you want to contact or email any of us, you can contact me on Facebook, Andre Powell on ANDIE, Powell POWELL on Facebook, Andre Powell on LinkedIn. I don't use Instagram, so don't contact me there. If you want to email me, andre.powell1, the number 1, bjj@gmail.com. We're always looking for guests and people to come on with like similar situations and everything. If Michelle and Beck want to give out any of their contact details.
You think I'm giving contact info after the shit I just said? I don't think so. We will do that another time when I have not pissed off an entire country. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Look out for where we post this, probably on a YouTube channel. It will hopefully just be Ice Free BJJ. If not, thank you for tuning in. And this was a lot of fun. I had fun. What about you two?
I think it was fun.
Yeah, I think it was fun. It's not much different to what we normally rant on about. Actually, we were quite focused this time.
We were, right?
We
had
were.
Which is
structure.
terrifying.
I think it's too much editing, though. I don't think you want to be editing all of this because like there was a lot of. I mean,
Yeah.
you said
Beck,
karate sucks, and I said judo's jujitsu light, and Andre said a lot of shit, and then I pissed off all of Ireland and apparently Boston, which I didn't even know. Like,
that's where the Dropkick Murphys are from.
who?
The
Oh,
band, the
they
Dropkick
were
Murphys.
the 100 Miles guys or something.
No, that's the Proclaimers, and they're Scottish.
Okay.
Don't worry,
I'm
we'll
not
give you a
old
geography
enough, I
lesson
don't know.
later.
Now we've just offended Scottish by comparing them to Ireland. Awesome.
I don't know old bands. I'm not trying to look. It's not a racist thing. I just don't. We have Cardi B. Like this shit isn't my fault.
Look at that. All right, Beck, do you want to hit
All
start?
right, let's
All
start
right.
recording.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time, smiley emoji.